What's happening, guys? It's Adam here. Just before we go into this week's episode, I want to let you know that we do an extra episode of this shit every single week exclusively on Patreon. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's basically a way for you to financially support this podcast while getting a few rewards for yourself. Now, you can sign up for £3 a month, £5 a month, or £10 a month. The more money you give us, the more benefits you get. But even the people who only sign up for £3 a month, which is what, less than the price of a fancy coffee, you get an extra episode every single week, which is about an hour and a half long, where it's just me and Dan most of the time. You also get early access to these public episodes with the guests. You get discounts on merch, discounts on live shows, early access to tickets for stuff like that. And also, you get access to every single Patreon episode we've already done as soon as you sign up. There's a shitload of stuff there. It's a massive back catalogue. We've been doing this for months now. Sign up today at patreon.com/haveawordpod. The link is in the description. Subscribe to this channel while you're there. Give us a little like on the video, and let's get to the podcast.
Oh, Carl, you're looking good.
Well, no, what happens is sometimes my hair looks silly in the...
So you were having a little check?
Oh, I've seen him do it. I've done it. I've never seen Carl do it. Like, what?
He's a fucking poser, you know.
I'm not. I just don't want my hair to look shit in
on
front of fucking
out,
tens of thousands
he'll make
of
us take like 300 photos because like he looks a bit
whoa,
weird.
whoa.
You know, like a premenstrual.
No.
Adam, can you tell the truth, please?
I'm telling the truth.
Like the most annoying hen night in the nightclub.
What he's doing here is he's talking about himself and putting my name in it.
I'm absolutely not.
I
do it all the time. You're like, oh no, my hair looks stupid on that. I'm not smiling right on that. My eyes are closed.
You're joking there, aren't you?
I'm absolutely not. I'm not.
No, he's not.
How many times?
How many times am I sober for pictures and you're in Venus?
Exactly. So I wouldn't be bothered, would I?
So I remember.
How many times do I do a little Instagram story and you're like, show me? No, do that again. And then you fix it. Yeah, because you do it again.
Because most of the time I'm sitting there like fucking scratching my ass or something. You doesn't even tell me.
So you just do Instagram stories without going, lad, yeah. I'm going to do Instagram stories.
We'll
You've got 25,000 people.
And I'll just do a boomerang. You know, content is king. So I'll like go from the screen to Carl and he'll go, show me that. And he'll go, oh no. And he'll fix it and he'll be like, go on, do it again.
Yeah. Well,
so if you ever enjoy my Instagram stories with him in, it's probably take 3 because he's a fucking bitch.
Do you know what though,
pussy.
Carl? You look good, mate. I just didn't know you had that streak of vanity.
No, sometimes my hair looks shit in the fucking... I'm
not vain. Sometimes it's just one hair out of place and does me head in for weeks.
It's brutal when you look like me. People are like, God, you're so vain. You're like, it's not that with stand up. It's something in your head when you're going in front of 300 people and they don't know you and you want them to like you. You're just like checking that you don't look like a fucking moron. Well, you're like, oh God.
So what he used to do?
Hang on, I've got to say this. So, do you know? Obviously, there's a lot of my stand-up on Hot Water's YouTube channel, and a lot of it is like comparing work. I used to have an agreement with them. If I've done comparing, don't even tell me that it's going out. Just put the clip out. I'll share it. It's fine. And you can tell how happy I am in my life by the clips. Because there's some where I've got my nice jacket on, my hair's done, I've had a shave and stuff, and there's some where I've got a hoodie on with curry stains, long hair that's not fixed, and I'm just like, what the fuck do you do, lad?
Even in the life of this podcast, there's times you've looked like, you know, one of those homeless people that look a bit bloated, where you're like, how are you bloated? Like, what's happened? Have you got an infection from...
You're saying he looks like a fat homeless man?
There's been a couple of points in the middle of that lockdown. I just clocked the videos, and then if you look at him now, he's looking all sharp, and he's got his fucking Jimmy Neutron quiff. Looks amazing. It is a big giveaway.
Do you know what he used to do? He used to have the worst habit on stage. I think you've stopped it now. Wow. He used to finger his belly button. Do you know that?
I mean...
No.
Lad, it for the first 2 years...
sounds bad.
Like,
has anybody ever noticed? Has anybody ever noticed?
I used to do that.
Every single... I think it must have been like a nerves thing. Sometimes you do it now if you're MCing, but you don't do it if you're doing a set. But yeah, it's like a comfort thing for you and you won't even know.
That's really fucking weird. Because I always itch my stomach like when I'm watching the telly. Like if I'm on the couch, I'll just be like having a little...
Yeah, that's what you do on stage. I mean, don't do it like that. Like, but...
I mean,
do you sniff it?
Yeah.
No.
What's the point of scratching? I'm not going to sniff.
There's always...
No judgment, but still.
Genuine question. If you scratch your gooch, do you check? Do you don't?
I'm a pipe smoker.
Come on. You've answered the question with the pause.
I'm going to plead.
Everyone does, don't
I'm going to plead the motherfucking fifth. But you know, everybody like a little bit of scratch and sniff. Come on, brother. Come on. Don't lie to me now. Love a bit of scratch and sniff. That's how you check if you're aight. Holy shit, that smells like strawberries. I'm like a really healthy man.
It smells like brine.
What?
Smells like brine. You're an horrible man. You need to check yourself in the camera again because you've gone wrong.
It smells like pork scratchings, doesn't it?
Laura's belly's popped. Like she's so pregnant now, halfway through, that her belly button's gone. Oh fuck this, and it's just popped with the pressure.
Out.
Also, the pressure on her. The pressure. We had this amazing moment where she was just like, she was getting ready this morning and she had like a knickers on. She was like, this feels really weird to say this, but my fanny's gone really bulbous. It's like all the weight of the baby and the pregnancy is sort of bearing down on her vagine and she's got bulbous clunge.
Bulbous clunge?
It's a medical term. You can
Is
look it up.
Bulbous clunge.
She's got a fat...
Sounds like an Etonian.
She's got a fat pum-pum and it's so fun. She was like, honestly, feel it. It's amazing.
I can see fumes coming off your pum-pum.
Oh my
Did you have a go?
God. She let me have a little press and it was honestly... Like, she's in heat. I mean, she's not. She's definitely pregnant. And it's just like a really funny moment, just like having a little tap of your wife's vagina. She's going, it is, isn't it? It's big, isn't it? I was like, yes, babe, you've got a big pregnant fanny.
Can you just for the non-acquainted, because I've never seen a swollen fanny before, right?
You've never lived, child.
I'm just wondering, could you describe the difference between a normal pussy and a...
No.
It's not a pussy, is it?
Just be careful, because it's a public episode, and she does watch, and she will hunt you down and kill you with a fat pum-pum.
Okay. How is what I said worse than what you've said?
Pussy.
You said she's got a bulbous clunge.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Why is that not worse than pussy?
Pussy's sexual, isn't it?
Yeah, because I, married her.
Okay. She's got an inflamed vajayjay.
Yeah, there you go. That seems less aggressive. It just looks like it's taken on water.
Like a squirrel with two nuts.
It looks a bit bloated. It looks like it's just really...
Yeah, look like your knee the day after you've been for a run.
Yeah, there's a little bit of that going on. It's really funny. Check my pum-pum. Is it big? Yeah, baby, got a big pum-pum. You know it.
Do you know the poem?
Go on.
I know. Do you know the poem that starts, smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu? Do you know that poem?
No.
Do you know it?
No.
Right.
If you're getting into poetry as well as rap battles, it's going to be...
No. Oh. You're going to enjoy this. Finn, just one sec, I know you're editing. Do you know that poem that I was referencing? Right, let me read it out, because I guarantee... someone who's listening.
Before you read it out, where have you come across this?
It will become clear.
Right.
Okay. So here's the poem. You might recognise it.
I got sent a pipe, by the way, and I'm absolutely
Smiling is infectious, you catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. I walked around the corner and someone saw my grin. When he smiled, I realised I'd passed it on to him. I thought about the smile and then realised its worth. A single smile like mine could travel around the earth. So if you feel a smile begin, don't leave it undetected. Let's start an epidemic and get the world infected.
Oh, is an epidemic one continent, though?
Yeah.
I don't think we need to go into the semantics of it.
Pandemic. All right.
So that poem
was
written by Spike Milligan.
Really?
And up until last year, I thought I wrote it.
What?
Please.
How mental are you?
So, when I was a kid, I wrote a few poems, right?
Go on.
Oh, yes. I can't wait for this.
Sold a few fucking sherbet deb dabs. I was a fucking poet laureate of the Cindy Path. I don't want no more. I don't want no more. I am on the floor. You are being a meanie.
I am so excited for this. How old were you?
You silly cunt. You silly cunt. Oh, God.
Right.
Oh, God.
So
you know it's fun if Adam's crying laughing.
No, it's not even like I'm only laughing at this. It's not even that good. Oh, So I wrote 2. Right, both published.
Shut up.
In
I'm not messing.
published.
The bullshit bell is down there.
Fucking beautiful.
You're not going to need it.
Large pum-pum wife has moved the bullshit bell. Go on.
Right, so I wrote one of them in the summer between year 4 and year 5.
Oh, it's a big summer.
Right, and I wrote the other one in year 6. So in year 6, our entire class was invited to come up with a poem, and they were being submitted into this national competition to go into a book of school children's poetry, and mine got selected. And I can't remember what mine was, and I've got a confabulated memory, which is that I wrote that Spike Milligan poem. I thought that's the one I wrote, and it went into the book. So that's where that come from. Yeah. But I did write a published poem, and the one in the summer between year 4 and year 5, I wrote a limerick that was published in the Beano.
Really?
Go on.
Beano.
What was the limerick?
I do know it as well, because I remembered it yesterday. It was, I once had a brother called Jack, who once got stuck in a sack. He couldn't get out, so he let out a shout, and now he's got a bad back.
Beano's not doing so well these days.
That's fucking dreadful.
I'm starting to put it together.
I was in year 4, or going into year 5, and on the first day of year 5, Mr. Scully, my year 5 teacher, who was from Walsall, big Walsall fan, bad breath. He
really painting the picture.
the first thing he did on the first day of year 5, he went, have we got a Mr. Adam Rowe in this class? And I was like, yeah. And he said, do you want to stand up? And I stood up, and he
Not
went,
really.
and he went, I believe you're a poet. And I had no idea what he was talking about. And I was like, what do you mean? He went, you had a poem published in the Beano, and I'd just like to give you the opportunity to read it to the class. This was the first minute of year 5. And I had to stand there. He gave me the Beano because he had a copy. And I had to stand there and go, once I had a brother called Jack, once got stuck in a sack, couldn't get out of the shop, now he's got a bad back. And I went, say, how do you get that? And he goes, oh, I've read the Beano since I was a child. I'm pretty sure he was a paedophile.
How, when you finished the limerick, how was the response in the room? Just, this is Adam's cool for the whole of year 5.
How did you get through the start of your life? Because you went from a poet into chess club.
How have you ended up the cool guy that you've ended up? So where did you come across that poem?
That one? I think we got read. I think maybe we got read that in like year 6, and I've sort of confused being read that with writing it.
But where did you just come across it?
This.
Where is it? Why is it popped back in your head?
Oh, yesterday I was in bed, and I was like,
Started reading poetry to people.
I was like, babe,
smooth operator.
I was like, babe, do you want to hear me poem?
And I went, go on.
And she went,
when a relationship is new enough that she doesn't go, shut the fuck up. Oh
my
God, I love you.
That's not yours, that's Spike Milligan's. And I said, oh yeah, forgot.
Hang on, she knew.
No, she did know the poem.
But and at first you thought it was that good.
Last year I was telling someone else about someone, like for some reason I was talking about poetry with someone last year, and I was like, I wrote a poem. It was about smiling, and I remembered the first couple of verses of that, like not all the way to the end about like, let's get the world infected. I remembered smiling was infectious. You catch it like the flu. When someone smiled at me today, I started smiling too. Passed around the corner, someone caught me grin, and before long I realised I passed it on to him. I remembered that, and the person I was telling, this is the poem I wrote, looked at me and was like, no, that's not yours. That's a very famous poem about smiling.
It's basically a little, like, it's similar to comedy, isn't it? When you're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've had a really good idea. And then someone goes, nah, you've not. You've watched something and forgotten about it.
I was listening to Dr. Dre before, and I thought I'd written for about Dre.
Did you?
Yeah.
Is that because you forgot about Dre?
I forgot that.
Did you go to a bit of a cooler school than...
Yeah.
Yeah. So going from year 4 to year 5...
I had a rap phase.
You had a rap phase?
Yeah.
And what's the first lyric of that rap song that you wrote?
Informer.
It's still Dre Day.
Still Dre Day. Something.
Oh, okay, good. All right, you didn't write all of it then.
Bars.
AK. Something.
Famously, Carl has picked one of the hip-hop songs that drops the N-word very, very quickly. So it's a really good one. And Carl, you thought you'd written it, but how did that go? It's still Dre Day. Sir?
Were you like creative in school or anything? Did you do any writing or drawing or?
Not as creative as you cool guy. I drew a design of a Mazda and sent it to Mazda.
Oh!
And they sent a thank you back going, we'll send it to our development team, because that's the kind of goony stuff you do when you're a kid.
Is it the RX-8?
I've actually got the letter from like 1990. My mate's mum had just got a Mazda and we were like, oh, we will design cars. And my mum took it, sent it to Mazda, and we got an official Mazda letterhead going, thank you very much, Daniel. You show a lot of talent as a designer, and we'll pass this on to our... Yeah, and that got read out at school. Schools love doing that, don't they? Like, someone's done something. Adam can't hear anything because he's lined up what he's going to say next. You've gone.
No, I do know what I'm saying, but I'm listening.
But you just went...
School's like reading stuff out. Yeah, now I'm waiting because I've remembered something I did in year 4.
It's brutal when they go, get up in front of everyone, just like it happened to Adam. But I was so young, it was primary school, and I was so young that, like, I think it was, maybe it was earlier than 1990, no one gave me stick for it. Like, oh, you wrote to Mazda. Whereas the older you get, the more it's like, Mazda nonce.
Yeah.
Adam, do you remember anything
Me
similar?
and my entire class in year 4
you go.
Designed the second iteration of Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, so you know there's the original 150 Pokemon?
Yeah.
Right. And there was Pokemon Red, Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Blue. Well, led by me, it was my idea. Our class invented Pokemon Orange, and I tasked the entire class to go home and draw new Pokemon, give them names.
You teaching the class?
No, but like I it was my idea, and the teacher, like, it's in year 4, she's like, he's being creative, let's encourage it. And you can ask Josh about this, it's 100% true.
believe you, love.
And me teacher was from Nigeria, her name was Miss Ashibi, right?
Okay.
How have you never told me about Miss Ashibi?
Miss Ashibi.
Sounds like a cat.
Miss Ashibi.
Miss Ashibi.
We have got a new car. It's a Miss Ashibi. It's not very good. I think it might be, how you say, Jag. I got a Jag car.
A Jag?
Why is Jaguar spelled with 3 A's?
Miss Ashibi told me off in class once because we had the first 4 Pokemon Harry Potter books, and she was like, you've got to read them in order. So we were reading the first one, the Philosopher's Stone, as a class. You know, you sit round and everyone reads a page, whatever. And I told her, because you were allowed to take books home, I was like, can I take Chamber of Secrets home, the second one? And she was like, you've got to read them in order. And I was like, I've already read the first one. I was lying. And then I can't remember what bit it was, but there's a bit in this Chamber of Secrets that contradicts something in the Philosopher's Stone. And I was like, we were reading as a class, and I was like, that doesn't make any sense, though, because in the Chamber of Secrets it says this. She was like, this is why you read it in order. Out of my class.
Why did you want to read it out of order just to be...
I was just a little gobshite kid. I
You
just
wanted
wanted
to know
to take
things
home.
that other people didn't.
I just wanted to know what everyone didn't know. Yeah. But yeah, we designed loads of new Pokemon, and I would sit there at break time, and the other members of my class would come to me and be like, this is the Ragamon, and it's got hundreds of...
Ragamon!
And I was sat there like, no, yes, no. I was
Lizard.
like Pokemon Tinder, just bin in the pile. And I did.
Do you remember some of your favourites from the Orange series of Pokemon?
I am like 50% sure that in a box in my dad's attic, there are still some of these.
Oh
In his what?
God.
In his attic. Loft.
That's the one.
Yeah. Do you want to get... Pedantic fucker.
Yeah.
I would love it if you got some of them
Yeah.
down.
They're really badly drawn.
Yeah.
But, you know, like, it was the talent I was working with. You can't get the staff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Where did you take your inspiration from? In my head, a lot of Liverpool players have been
No, I was...
like
Gerard, mom.
Gerardamon, Luis Garcia Zilla. What are the names?
I haven't got a fucking clue, but like I would just draw them and they'd be like make some shit ones as well, because there's some shit Pokemon, wasn't there? So you need a few shit ones for the new game. But I'm not saying Nintendo owe me any money or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Would never say that.
You don't.
But when the second iteration of Pokemon come out, Pokemon Gold and Silver, there was some Pokemon that looked scarily like the ones that me and my mates drew.
Yeah, and when Mazda brought out a sports car, it looked fuck all like the special needs effort I sent in late 80s, early 90s.
I made paedophile Pokemon cards last year.
Pedo Pokemon.
Yeah,
Who's that pedo?
for the quiz.
Right.
What you've already seen. They've seen me quiz now, haven't they, if they're patrons?
Yeah.
This is public though.
Yeah, no, but if you're patrons, you'll have seen Carl's Quiz V2. I did one in Japan and it was Who's That Paedophile?
If you're confused, the lockdown lock-in went out on Friday evening at 6 p.m. If you haven't signed up to Patreon and you want to see both of the now legendary lock-ins, patreon.com/haveawordpod.
And you also get the entire back catalogue of Patreon episodes, which are a little bit naughty, especially this week's one, which we're almost certainly going to get a lawsuit for.
Yeah.
Put it this
Never mind.
way. Let's put it this way. The Les Battersby followed us on Twitter yesterday, and it made us all very nervous.
Yeah.
Oh, Les Battersby got away with... He was the one that got least, like, shtick.
Yeah.
That was a weird moment getting followed by Les Battersby. Did you... So I never was into Pokemon. And I'm obviously not going to get into it now, but it was just past my ear. Laura was watching something about SMTV.
Oh, yeah.
And they were talking about the success that came because they didn't know what Pokemon was when they started putting it on. So they started doing, Ant and Dec started doing sketches about Pokemon. And Laura's like, oh my God, I watched SMTV. It was like must watch. And because I'm 5-6 years older than her, I was like, just completely missed this.
SMTV was fucking unbelievable. Wonky donkey.
Wonky donkey.
Yeah.
Wonky donkey. Wonky donkey.
When are we talking here? 98, 99?
Yeah. It was before Dick and Dom, wasn't it, on BBC?
Yeah.
It's like it was, they didn't clash.
It was a fucking belter of a morning. You wake up Saturday morning, you got your Cocoa Pops, you got your fucking Crazy
Tarts.
Bones.
Oh yeah,
Remember
I'm
Crazy
aware of
Bones?
it, but I'm just like from the generation before, aren't I? We just didn't like. What did we have on a Saturday morning? I can't even fucking remember. Was it
Paedophiles.
Yeah, it was paedophiles. Yeah.
Swap shop.
No, I'm not that fucking old. You absolute twats. News about the war. A speech from the Prime Minister, Winston Churchill.
You said the radio, didn't you?
Wireless.
The wireless. Yeah.
Saturday morning, we sat down for the 1 hour of BBC broadcasting.
Listen to the
I don't
chicken
think you can
forecast.
complain about being old anymore while you're sat there sucking on a tobacco-less pipe.
This is one of the best things we've had sent in. We've had Mother Teresa recently.
Can't see it in shop, but yeah.
Well,
she's
Mother
just
Teresa's been sent in.
Got a signed picture of Mother Teresa.
We've got a signed Kevin Webster, a signed Mother Teresa, which is official.
What does it say then?
It says, top work, you bunch of nonces. Love you, Adam.
Mother Teresa.
It says, I don't want no more Mother Teresa. Hashtag 260. So she's fucking...
She's a big fan.
She's obviously listened to a lot of the older episodes there.
Yeah. It actually says, God bless you. So we're actually blessed by Mother Teresa.
We've got in the Wall of Fame so far.
Blessed by God, she's just asking him to...
Kev Webster, Mother Teresa, and Faustino Asprilla. What a fucking...
Imagine that for a front line.
Oh.
Fucking hell, mate.
Shag, marry, avoid them, Dan. Genuinely.
I'd
I'd love to see her fucking rap.
shag either of the... like, honestly, I know you're going to say I love cock, but Mother Teresa there in that picture is 182 years old.
She's praying to die.
Still untouched pussy, though.
Don't you reckon she's touched it?
It's just... the word isn't offensive, it's the context, isn't it? The
Yeah, 'cause
way
it's
Adam
sexual.
drops pussy.
Pum Pum's better.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
it's playful.
Yeah.
Untouched bulbous clunge. Is that better?
No. Who am I marrying? I reckon it's so painful. I don't even know if I want to spend like an hour with any of the three. Michael Lavelle be all right, wouldn't he?
I would shag Tino Asprilla.
Standard.
Because, you know what? I've shared a football pitch with the man, and he was a nice guy. You know what I
So
mean?
you'd
A
shag
man
him.
marked him out the game. Scored and on.
Man marked him. Now I'm going to fuck him.
Yeah. Like
a real defender.
yeah. But I'm fucking him. I'm not
I had
taking...
you in my pocket and my dick in your...
I'm not taking his fucking Colombian pipe in my ass.
all right.
But yeah, I'll have a little fucking dip of him. I'll avoid Kev Webster,
Yeah. You don't want to you don't want to loop in the Matrix or something.
and I'll
As you
marry
just
Mother
start going,
Teresa.
hey, I'm not doing it for you. Well, I'm doing it for you.
Yeah, I'd marry Mother Teresa.
You marry Mother Teresa.
She'd be a good spooner.
Yeah.
Big or
Yeah.
little.
Yeah. Try and turn her.
Is she Ecuadorian?
No. She's from, where's Mother Teresa from?
She's Italian, isn't she?
Oh, yes, this is my wife. Where is she from? From
No, I mean where she grew up. I
Mother...
know she was born in Skegness.
Oh, she grew up in Norway.
You knew she was born in Skeggy?
She's born in Skegness, yeah.
Yes.
She is born in Skegness?
Yes, I know where I'm born. Adam, as we go to bed tonight,
Could you hold that in front of your face? Sorry.
No, because I've used really good tape. And it's going to damage the wall. Ah! Yes. Adam.
Yeah.
She's a smoker.
It's not the only pipe I want tonight, Adam. Adam. My
This
darling,
is so disrespectful.
what are we doing with our lives?
Can you imagine though? Right.
Adam, do you think we're going to be fully monetized?
Imagine if I'd have said 18 months ago that Dan's going to be stuck with a signed Mother Teresa photo on his face with an Ecuadorian voice saying he wants to get shagged.
The thing is though, what I'm wondering, right, is obviously she died a virgin, right? But let's say you met her like 5-6 years before the end.
I don't reckon she did.
But let's say you met her let's take it at her word.
Yeah.
Let's say you met her 5-6 years before the end.
Ask
And
me
you gave her
anything. I'm
you
an
gave her the
open
fucking
book.
night of her life. And imagine she just become a massive fucking cum guzzling whore.
Oh, God. He's literally... When it...
It's like, do you know that game where you stick someone's name to your face? It's like the most disgusting game of that.
Yeah.
No, but imagine if you were the one who turned Mother Teresa from a literal saint into a fucking
Raging
gooser.
cocksucker.
Gooser.
I prefer goose. It's nice. Me not like a cum goosela. No. No, that's not how you treat a lady. I mean, that's why I left. If I wanted that kind of bullshit, I'd have stayed in Skeggy. Yes.
Do you know what's really funny?
By the way, if you're listening
Is
on the
that she's
audio,
like begging me for this
Yeah.
stuff. Please fuck
please,
me.
Adam, just say bulbous clunge one more time.
Bulbous clunge.
No, now never say it again.
Genuinely, question for you.
Not bad. Take off me unibrow.
Question for you,
Yeah.
right?
What a stupid walk.
Sorry, serious question, Adam.
Yeah.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Let's come on.
So she's on a deathbed, right?
Right.
But there's no smells or anything, right?
How old was she? She was 98 when
She
she
was an
died.
old lady, like, yeah.
Was she 98?
She
I'm
was
gonna say, yeah.
So old.
Right. And she's there, and she's asked for you,
Haunted
Right.
pussy.
right?
No, stop saying pussy.
She
Haunted
was
fucking weird little children. Go on.
87. Quite a young
87.
lady.
Oh,
she was
she's fine,
DTF.
11 years off there.
She was DTF.
She was actually born in Macedonia.
She wasn't born in Skeggy.
No, it
Oh,
says here
what a
Macedonia,
surprise.
but she lived in India.
Right.
Mad.
She was
So do you
Macedonian.
want to try that accent again?
Yeah, let me do my Macedonian
Via India.
via India.
Hello. My name is Mother Teresa.
Name it Mother Teresa.
No.
She looks quite
That's
fit
just
in these
racist
pictures.
Indian, you fucktard.
No.
No.
You're missing the hint of Macedonia there.
Oh, I missed it. I did miss it.
Listen again.
Listen, let me just do my racist Ecuadorian, because it's not as bad as that one.
My name is Mother Teresa.
It's just-
Hey!
You have no idea with Macedonia.
She's a good fella.
Hey, I'm a fucking Macedonian here. What am I? Fucking walking here? Oh, I'm from fucking Macedonia. It's New Jersey. You mama calotes.
Right, so what's happened is, right, you get, the phone goes, right?
Ring, ring.
Ring, ring, answer the phone.
You all right? What's happening? Player. All right, Shagger?
Listen, lad, I had an email come through here. I know you're busy today. I've been on the emails. It's
Nice one.
we had an email from Mother Teresa's
The big shock,
agent.
he's been on the emails. Go on. Fucking hell.
I had an email from Mother Teresa's agent.
Right, yeah.
Right.
Who's she with? Off the curb? Off the curb, like,
Okay, I don't want to wear a suit.
yeah, but mother, we can get you supporting fucking McIntyre. Play the game, wear a fucking suit, get your pictures taken by Hollingworth.
Okay.
Okay.
Will I get love in the Apollo? I think I'd be very good at it other than cards.
Listen, lads, Mother Teresa's agent's been in touch, yeah?
Yeah.
Basically, she's on her lassies here, lad. She's going to go.
On a Lassies.
Yeah.
Last
Last legs.
legs on a Lassies. Love it. I'll learn a bit of Scouse every day. Nice one,
She's on her lassies.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
basically, she's been listening to the podcast, right? She loves it.
She's a worder.
Yeah.
Original. Word is original.
No, she come on board a few months in.
Is she a patron?
£5.
Oh, fair enough. She does do a lot of charity work.
But here's the thing, lad.
Yeah.
She's basically, she's rang Laura already, right? Laura was fucking made up to speak to Mother Teresa.
Yeah.
Laura's okayed all this. Basically, you know, she's lived her life completely abstinent. She's had a word with God. She's so close to him. She's got him on speed dial. And she's gone, look, God, I just want some pipe before I go. And he's gone, go ahead, girl, get yours. And she wants you to do it. So, will you come down the Royal in Liverpool now and just smash Mother Teresa's head in before she goes?
Why she picked Dan?
What?
What?
She fancies him?
Oh.
Yeah. She's at the Royal Liverpool Hospital. She's on her deathbed.
Yeah.
They flew her from India.
They flew her from Macedonia / India via Ecuador and Newark, New Jersey. And she's dying in the Royal Liverpool. And they've emailed the Have a Word email. You're now relaying this information. I've got to go to the Royal Liverpool, which is full of fucking COVID. Go into
No, this is pre-COVID. She died ages ago.
All right.
98.
Right. 98. So I'm a 17-year-old. Yeah, I'd be up for it. I'd have fucked anything at 17. I'd have bounced all the way
I
through
can't
fucking
tell you.
Ormskirk on my erection.
Genuinely, like, the opportunity there, I would never say no to that.
Content is king.
No, I wouldn't film it.
Sorry, because you've got standards. With Carl in the back going, lad, fuck her again. My fringe is off. No, lad. Don't put that on Instagram yet, man. My fucking headphones make me look weird. Right, bang it again. Beep, beep, beep. Yeah, probably just go with what we got.
Oh my God. Her last words.
Can we guess? Can we?
It's 3 words.
See you, bitches.
Her last words.
She had three words. What were they?
Okay, so we get a point for each word we get right, and a bonus 2 points if we get them all.
Right, before you say, let me just have a think. Mother Teresa's last words.
3 words.
Royal Liverpool. Was it?
I don't want no more.
That's 4 words.
No,
5.
yes.
You gotta pick
Don't
3 words.
want no
Take it
more.
serious.
Okay. All right, soz.
Who are you?
She was murdered. Okay.
In that voice. Can you just try and do Mother Teresa's voice? It's just a...
Who are you?
No. Right,
Hey!
Oh, I'm fucking dying here. Oh.
Are they your 3? I'm dying here.
No, hang on.
I'm dying here.
Where did she die? Can we get a location?
Pontons.
It was in Kolkata, obviously.
It was in Calcutta.
What was it? Is that
Calcutta Pontons.
I'm
India.
well sweaty.
I'm well sweaty. So you're going with what? Who are you?
I don't. Hang on. We're not. These aren't final answers. We've got to workshop this.
I'll give you the first word. It's I.
I've just shat.
Oh, sorry.
I.
It's not funny, this, by the way.
Is it not?
No.
Is it heroin?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh. Well, glad we're doing it. Glad we're doing it. I would fuck her.
What religion was she, Christian?
Where is Dan?
What? Did you just say what religion is she?
Yeah.
Mother Teresa? What religion is she?
Yeah, but like...
Christian? Question mark. Is that what you said out your head? Adam. Yes, she was a little bit Christian.
She was an Albanian Indian Roman Catholic nun.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you think she was just called Mother? What did you think was happening?
I thought Teresa.
I love the things she used to wear, mate. That white and blue rig.
What were her last words?
No.
We've got nothing.
No. I regret everything.
No. I cannot breathe.
Right.
They were the last words according to Sunita Kumar.
Right.
It was a lie as well, wasn't it? Because if you couldn't breathe, you wouldn't be able to talk.
Do you know, Carl?
Lying bitch.
Carl,
Yeah.
when you take us down these grim fucking avenues,
I'm trying to make you lighten it up.
I feel like you do it. You're doing it a lot. Is everything okay, hon? Because that was a stupid conversation. You were like, do you want to guess the last 3 words? It's I cannot breathe. Thanks very much.
Do you want to know how she died?
Hit by a bus.
Suffocation. Someone fat sat on her. Go on.
I think she was hit by a blimp.
And she couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
Right.
Blimps are big.
Yeah. He winded her. She died from getting winded by a blimp. No,
Literally for like
a second.
0.5 of a second. I was like, fuck off.
Do you know what?
It's not funny. She had heart failure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Carl, you're a ray of fucking sunshine. A ray of sunshine. Oh.
I think we need a break.
Yeah, well, you're not going to top that. Do you know what I was going to ask before? I was like, do you play Pokemon Go? Now, I don't care, and neither does everyone else. Oh, my God. Let's have a second.
She's Pokemon gone.
Kobe.
All right there, lids. I want to tell you about our sponsor, Supreme CBD. If you've not yet used Supreme CBD or any CBD products, try them now. They can actually improve your quality of life. If you've got any problems with sleep, anxiety, any skin issues, I've got it. I use it. It's really good for your skin. It comes in gummy bear form. You've got sprays, you've got tablets. It's incredible for improving your general health and happiness. Try it out at supremecbd.uk and use our code WORD, W-O-R-D, to save 30% off all orders with code word WORD. Nice one. Are we ready to rock and roll? Let's do some podcasting today.
Yeah.
With this beautiful man and that vain man and that Turkish and Welsh man.
On the way, yeah.
And
I went
this
to
cunt.
Tesco. Got 2 meal deals, both for myself. One for me breakfast, one for me lunch. Meant to be £11.55. That's good meal deal and that, innit? Got it for £6. £5.55 off.
Did you get what you
ROWE
wanted?
bags.
Did you get what you wanted? Did you not just get the expensive drink for the sake of it?
No, because the coffee machine was broke. So I got one with a little milky coffee, the Starbucks cafe latte thing. And I got myself an innocent smoothie because I'm trying to start my day with fruit.
Did you just steal them?
What?
Did you just steal it? I don't understand what happened.
Like, do you not get Tesco meal deals?
You mean the combined cost should have been £11, but with the meal deal it was just £6?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sexy fucker, aren't you?
They don't call me ROWE.
Bags. They've started to, haven't they? I love giving advice on this podcast, mainly because it's a total roll of the dice to see what mood Adam's in and whether he's actually going to take it seriously and give some advice or just tell you to go fuck yourself and your nan. I would like, if you've got any more dilemmas, I really think he could be a great agony aunt. I genuinely enjoy this. Questions, the would you rathers, we've done to death. If you need some advice, haveawordpod@gmail.com and we will sort your life out.
What
From
cunt's been in touch now?
Anon.
Anon.
Yeah, Anon.
Anonymous.
Yeah, Anon.
Not
From which
Anon.
religion, though? You don't know. How could you know? That's the thing about nuns. They don't tell you which religion they are.
Muslim nun.
Sneaky bitches. She's probably one of them fucking Hindu nuns. Right. From Macedonia. Oh! Over the fucking bridge. What am I? You fucking mama colutes. This is a lot of fun. Dear our kid Harry Hill and Andre Gomez, I've got a bit of a dilemma. I've been with my girlfriend now for 6 months.
I think from now on, by the way, if they don't mention Finn, you should just make up a thing for Finn because he feels left out.
Okay.
Start again.
You just missed it, didn't you? It is there.
It is there. Just, say the Finn one.
Oh, yeah, I misread it. Dear our kid Harry Hill, Andre Gomez, and that big fucking cunt.
Oh. You should have just not read that bit
I
out.
shouldn't have read that out, really. I wish I'd just missed it.
Yeah.
All right, next time, Finn. Sorry about that. It's really aggressive, but he's in a dilemma. I've got a bit of a dilemma, and I hate Finn. I shouldn't have read that out.
Fucking stop it.
I shouldn't have read it out.
Filter it.
I should edit these before I do them. Why is Finn such a... No, I'm joking. He says, I've been with my girlfriend now for 6 months and things are going really well. Recently, she showed me a picture of her with her old flatmate, and to my surprise, I'd actually, and this is the exact word he used, raw dogged her flatmate before I'd met my girlfriend. So, to make things even worse, I'd been on the Sambuca that night and projectile vomited on her flatmate's back about 2 minutes into sex. Probably the most traumatic experience of both our lives. Upon doing this, I just fled the scene as fast as possible, leaving this poor girl covered in Sambuca and double cheeseburger. You a classy motherfucker! So, I need some advice. Do I keep this to myself and hope that my new girlfriend's old flatmate never makes the connection, or do I tell her now so it's out in the open? And that's from Anonymous Shock Horror. So can we just track back? He's been seeing this girl, and then it's going really well. So, I've got some pictures of my, and then clock the picture. Who's that? My old flatmate. It's like, I have sex vomder.
It's her old flatmate.
Yeah, not a current one.
Oh, don't tell her then.
No, I think, look, here's the thing.
What does raw dogged mean?
No condom.
Bummed her head in.
Oh,
Raw.
underrated.
Yeah. Raw, as in like raw meat.
As in like
No, not an added.
bummed her head in.
Right. And dog, as in like in the bum.
You young guys.
Well, it is doggy style because he thingied on her back, didn't he?
What?
He vomited on her back.
Nice.
Unless he
Really
just
low-
like curled it in.
Right,
Wait,
come
wait.
on. Let's give some advice. What have you got?
Right, here's the thing, right? This is going to come out. So does he want to be a liar that's done this or just someone who's done this?
He's not lying, is he, if he doesn't tell someone?
Yeah, no, it is. Like, a girl will definitely see it
No,
as
but
lying.
he just say he didn't know that her flatmate?
He could pretend that he didn't recognise her and be like, oh, when you showed me that picture, like I was so drunk that night, that's why I was sick. I didn't even recognise her. But if he was going to do that, he probably shouldn't have written in to a popular comedy podcast about it first. Also, maybe the old flatmate is fitter than his new and more attractive. And he can be like, look, just know I've settled for you. I can get better. So watch your mouth.
Yeah,
Ooh,
it's a
that's a
really
good one,
good
that.
tactic with that. Women love that after 6 months, just sort of undermining them and letting them know that they are inferior and that you have options. Women, good women, like that you want to settle down with, they respond really well to that sort of aggressive
Of course they do.
gaslighting and tactic. Yeah,
They
nice
want to
one.
know that their man is wanted by other
Yeah,
women.
my wife does not. If you could stop messaging me
It's
on
that
Instagram.
fishing analogy, isn't it?
What?
The fishing analogy.
Yeah.
Who said
Teach a
it?
man to fish.
Who said it? No.
Teach a man to fish.
This
He'll
is
eat
not,
for the day.
This is not the analogy.
Yeah.
Let him shag all your fit mates, and you'll know how to behave.
What? No, it's. I think it's like that, but it's teach a man to. No, it's give a man a fish, and he'll eat.
Yeah.
But if he voms sambuca and double cheeseburger all over her back, then he's got options. What? Yeah.
Weren't we listening to an analogy the day about
it's
fishing?
Patrice O'Neill's
That's
old
it,
bit.
yeah.
He's like, his routine. I don't want to do
I'll
it.
do it. He's dead.
He's like,
Sorry, Patrice.
making men work with women is like making bears work with salmon covered in honey. And then getting pissed off when the bear is like, oh, human resources, the grizzly bear just did grizzly bear stuff. He's like, but when you're in a relationship, you need, women need to smell fish on you so that they know that, I can still catch fish. Like every now and then I'll take one out the water and throw it back in just so I smell a fish. You're just a fish that jumped back on the boat.
Holy shit.
And 6 months in, you're like, we've been together so long. Why do you still need a boat? So I can catch fish and show you I can catch fish so you can act right.
Oh my God.
He's got a point. I think this lad needs to go down the route of, listen, A, right? Look, just because I fuck someone who you know before I met you doesn't make me a bad person. It just means you've got similar taste in dick. So get over yourself.
Again.
Shut the fuck up.
Or threaten.
Anonymous. Anonymous. If you're going to go down Adam's road tactically, I'd change some of the wording. I think...
Using name. That's what he means. Just so she knows you're talking to her.
I think Adam...
Becky, listen. I can fuck who I want, when I want, before we're together. You can do nothing about it. I vommed on her back and yours is next.
Is he saying this before she brings it up? Is he just coming in the house and saying this? Or has she already brought it up?
Adam's given 5 different options of advice and they're getting worse and worse. No, what he should do is shoot her with a gun and be like, you're dead, not bad. So I puked on her back, but I shot yous. And I got the gun in about half an hour from Scotch Brian, me dad's brother-in-law, whatever.
What he should actually do is sit her down, get the photo out, and go, listen, I've vommed on her back.
Right.
And then if she's got questions, answer them. But if she goes, I don't want to know, then you're off the hook.
6 months in, things are going really well. I'll be honest, not to play the old, well, sit down, child, let me tell you about marriage. Anyone who's like, you can't believe you did that before you met me. Anyone who uses that rhetoric is an arsehole.
Yeah.
You don't own someone's history. Don't be a fucking douchebag. If you like someone and you're with them and you found out what they were like either leave or just fucking buckle in. Yeah. Like that's their life.
So
but I think there's a lot to be said for just going. I can even see they're just ignoring it route. But I think if you're going to end with a long term, you should be like, can I tell you something? And it's really embarrassing.
Yeah.
And I want to tell you, before your mate gets in your ear, that I'm an arsehole. But I have one of the most bad, embarrassing experiences of my life. And just by chance, it's with your old flatmate. And I want to tell you so she's not the one who goes, oh my God, at your birthday party, I recognised him. And I could smell Five Guys. And I think you will know if this girl has got legs long term. If she goes, I can't believe that you puked on someone's back before I knew you. Because that's a bell end reaction. Yeah. I know he's been a knobhead, but he's not done it on purpose. I think it's a real testing. Like it's a litmus test of whether this has got legs as a relationship.
I just want to go back about a minute and a half where you said you don't own someone before they're together and all that. And that you should not like be like, oh, you did this before you're together. So I just want to know if you'd met someone, right? And you really liked them, you're 6 months in, and then you showed her a picture of you and your rugby team, right? And she was like, listen, go sit you down. I gangbanged them like once a month for a year.
Once a month?
Yeah.
It wasn't just a drunken night. She was a barmaid. They were on rugby tour.
It was honestly
last
Sunday of the month and bank holiday Mondays.
Last Sunday of the month.
And bank holiday
Holy
Mondays.
Communion. Fucking hell.
Would that put you off? I used to get gangbanged once a month by 13 people that you know.
Yeah, you know what, Adam? I see that you're trying to break down my argument, but I think you might have gone too far with the analogy, because I don't think getting drunk and vomiting on someone's back, as unfortunate as it is as bad as 12 times a year getting piped by 15 fucking lads, including the prop. Ugh. Like, that's worse, isn't it?
Are you slut-shaming?
No, just... I'm not slut shaming. You can
Sounds
honestly
like slut shaming, though, doesn't it?
You can bang all the teams you want, but I think at that extent you're allowed to be like, wow, that is going to maybe colour my view of someone going forward.
Yeah, but like, why?
Why?
Why would it colour your view of them? What have they done wrong?
What have they done wrong? Are you enjoying this? Being a cunt. Is it different rugby teams or is it the same
No,
one?
the same one. It's your rugby team. You just went in.
Oh, it's my rugby
Yeah.
team. Well, I know it's ridiculous because what position do I play?
You hold the flag.
Right. Have you watched rugby? Do you know what sport we're talking about? Are you thinking about Quidditch? You hold the flag. You're the seeker. I think you might have jumped ahead too far there on Harry Potter's.
If you got with a new lady and found out that me and Dan had run a train on her.
Oh, no, it's a bit different when it's your mates, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's a whole flat.
It's your rugby team. Like, it's the same sort of question. I would say, do you know what, babe? As long as it never happens again, we can move past this.
I don't believe you. Absolutely.
Stop projecting.
Where is?
Stop projecting.
You are the most
your
territorial.
vile slut shaming misogyny.
You are
onto me.
such a fucking hypocrite.
Why?
You know what? Whether it turns you off or turns you on, or you can deal with it or not, just make the fucking decision then. That's the thing. You're allowed to be like, wow, that has discombobulated me a little bit. That's a lot of dick 12 times a year. 15 dicks 12 times a year.
And bank holiday Mondays. You're forgetting about them. I don't know how many bank holidays are in a year.
Oh, and the
That's
bank
on
holidays.
top of the 12.
Wow. So even after
145.
the Monday after is Sunday.
Yeah.
Two in 24 hours.
Yeah.
You're allowed to be like, yeah, that's a lot of dick.
Yeah.
Well, you're not. Like, just don't go, well, it's fine, and then hold it over someone for 3 years of their shit relationship. Just make the call and fuck off. I think you own up to it.
He's got to own up to it. It's how he does it is the question.
I think you should do it again.
You're a silly person as well.
I think he should look at that photo with it again. Right? And then go, "Ah!
Or he could lie and say she spewed on him.
No.
Can you just let him finish?
Ah!" And she'd be like, what's the matter? And he'd be like, bring her round for tea. And then she comes round for tea and he starts screaming again. "Ah! Ah!" And then she'll be so freaked out by him, she'll leave him. And he won't have to have an awkward conversation.
Okay, good. I thought that was going to be proper advice, and it really went off the
I
rails.
think he wants to stay with it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, yeah. It'd be an amazing reaction if you started going, "Ah! Ah!" the second time you'd seen the picture. The first time you're like, oh, yeah, she looks nice.
No, he should say, hey, who's that? And I'll be on flatmate, whatever. Yeah. And he got, when's the last time you spoke to her? And if it's like more than a year, keep the secret forever.
Oh, that's a good, that's a good little caveat. There's no point admitting to getting absolute, like if she's like, yeah, I hardly ever see her again.
Yeah.
Because you can at the end of the day go, I didn't remember. It was the worst night ever and I'm really embarrassed about it. I'm not proud of it. Yeah. I'm ashamed of myself what happened that night. I just genuinely didn't recognise it because we were steaming. But that was before I met you, darling, and now, I'm on the straight and narrow.
Yeah, I don't vomit on backs anymore. I'm a changed man.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever got so drunk you've puked in and around the old lady love?
I did shit on the bathroom floor of a one night stand. I missed the toilet.
At her place?
Oh dear.
Yeah. Did you do clean up?
No,
What?
Oh, Adam.
I just pooed on the floor and she was in the kitchen, so I just got off.
No, he didn't.
That's a lie, isn't it?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, that's a lie.
You didn't.
Do you think it's a lie?
I know that's a lie.
Is Adam lying?
No, he's lying. He's in a weird mood. We can't have been through the whole bin shitting saga and you've failed to admit that you've like curled out a turd. No, bullshit.
I am lying. Yeah. I did let out a ridiculous fart when I was shagging a one night stand once. And it literally like this is my memory of it anyway. Like it sounded like it sort of matched me thrust. So like we were in missionary, right? Like this. And as I went to go down, I started farting. But like I couldn't stop myself, but I did slow myself down. So it was like and then I pulled out and it carried on.
Like an accordion.
So I went and she looked at me and went, what are you doing? And I went, get on board.
Like the world's shittest accordion.
Yeah. I did. That is true. I did a big fart that like, and it literally matched because I was fucking going at it, but like because I started the fart, I went,
Oh, once it's happening, it's done, isn't it?
yeah. But
True.
yeah, and it stunk
Oh, that's the worst. That's
Yeah.
even the noise.
because we'd had like chili garlic, my friend, kebabs.
Oh no! Did you? I think there's a lot to be said for just stopping and be like, well, madam, this has been put this down to misadventure. I apologise. Crack a window, and we'll never see each other again. Good day to you.
Yeah, I told you about the girl whose name I never remembered the next day and kept having to call her Gail.
Oh,
Did I not tell you about that?
oh.
It was at Hope Uni. Like,
I remember.
Hope Uni.
yeah, and my phone was dead and I had no money. So I couldn't just walk out and get the bus. I had to wait till my phone was charged so that I could bring a taxi to get off.
So you're like, what's happening, girl? Like that?
Yeah, she kept using my name. It was like she knew. She was like, do you want a drink, Adam? Should we have sex again, Adam? Do you want something to eat, Adam? And I was like, yeah.
Do you want a
girl.
drink, Adam? Do you want sex again, Adam?
Yeah.
Do you want bus money, Adam? Do you want to marry me, Adam? Yeah, but you can
Gail. Yeah, love.
you
Yeah,
can get
Gail.
away with not using someone's name for almost the entirety of being with them until there's a third person. And then you're meant to introduce. Like at the Edinburgh Festival, I am a fucking master of knowing everyone that knows me. Hey, buddy, mate, hey, Shaggy. It's great. Until you're there with like your missus or a mate who then stands there going, going to introduce us? And you're like, shut the fuck up. I have actually prepped
it's
Laura.
horrible, isn't it?
I've prepped Laura many a time as we're going into Edinburgh at the festival, and I've gone, right, if there's a pause in a conversation, you just lean in and go, hi, I'm Laura, Dan's girlfriend, Dan's wife, whatever at the time.
And then it's on them to go, my name is Pablo.
Do not wait for them to look at you and then look at me going, are you going to introduce us? Because then I'm like, now I'm fucked.
Yeah.
Because it's the Fringe. There's 3,000 knobheads I'm meant to know, and I know the name of 294 of them, which is good.
There's, funnily enough, I can't remember this comic's name. He's a younger Asian lad, like South Asian, and
Is he North Asian? No, he's South Asian. All right.
as in South and not East.
All right,
Do you know what I mean?
Cool, cool.
Do
I just think it was really funny how you like.
you know what I mean?
You do, I do now. It's just fine. It's just not like you to be so specific.
Yeah.
Before you did Macedonia, like, what am I doing here? Like, Dan, South Asian, not East. Do you know what I mean? Really offensive. Carry on.
And he came up to me in the street, and he was like, "How's it going, mate? You all right, yeah?" And he was talking to me as if he knew me, and then I went, "Do we know each other?" And he went, "It's Lloyd, isn't it?" He thought I was Lloyd Griffith, and I went, "No, mate, I'm not Lloyd Griffith." And he went, "Oh my God, Red Richardson." He thought I was Red Richardson, and I do look a little bit like an amalgamation of those two people.
Can I just say, if you are a young comic in Edinburgh, when you've got it wrong, don't start guessing other names. Just take the L and walk
Richard
up.
Pryor,
I'm going to get it.
Eddie Murphy.
I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. Sarah Kendall. Oh, fuck.
Yeah, I get mistaken for those two a little bit in Edinburgh.
So, we've got some WYRs.
Go ahead, then.
Oh, no, here's a Daniel Pugh sent in a question. How are we, Ahmed, Danielle, Carlito, and Fergus? Question is this. If you had to delete one of the big 5 social media apps, Facebook, Insta, Snapchat, WhatsApp, and Twitter, which one would it be? So if you don't use one already, then that is excluded from your options. So, Grandad Dave, I imagine you don't use Snapchat, so you can't choose that.
Right,
So which of the big social medias would you fire off if you had to cull one?
So it's just deleted for me. It's not just like ended. Am I destroying, like that's obsolete, it's gone, no one's on it, or is it just I delete the app?
Right. I think he means you delete the app, but I'd also be interested to hear which one you'd destroy.
Okay, deleting the app of defo Snapchat because I barely use it anyway. I have got it, but I barely use it. I suppose in the spirit of the question, the 3 I still use are Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Now, if I was going to get rid of one of them,
Right, that's a better one because WhatsApp's not really social media.
Social media, it's a messenger.
It's a messenger. And Snapchat is always going to be the one because it's for fucking 17-year-old girls.
yeah, I've started watching some TikToks
I like
as well,
what-
so I'd keep that now. I'd get rid of Facebook. I just think it's a bit done. Like I'm still on it because I need to for work purposes, but I'd get rid of that. If you're asking which one I would delete for everybody, it would be Twitter. I think it's the worst of human existence in an app. I think it's the absolute cesspit of humanity. Nothing can be positive without someone being negative. I seen someone,
Apart from with our pod.
we get a lot of love, but you still get like the odd comment going, not even funny, because that's what people want to do, because it's short and it's easier to be angry. I see there's a lot of tweets when people become cancer free. Like someone will tweet, I'm cancer free. It's like a young girl or something. And someone replied something negative to that the other day. I seen someone go something like, well, a lot of people still aren't, so you shouldn't be bragging about this. It's like, shut the fuck up. This girl's been through all sorts.
Oh my
Do you know what I mean?
God.
People just want, on Twitter, there's just this need to be nasty and
even
horrible
more with
and-
celebrities.
Yeah.
So like that, to be a cunt to that girl is special type of country, isn't it? I remember Tom Brady tweeted about, he only started using Twitter about 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. Just hadn't bothered with it. And he's going to be he's potentially the best quarterback of all time. He's definitely in the conversation. He got 1 million followers instantly and just started throwing out some tweets. And one of them was like, oh, looking forward to Christmas and playing the next day or something. Really innocuous, boring NFL player. And it's the speed of the first reply, because that first reply sits under the tweet. If you're the fucker
used to.
who, oh right, okay. Now if they respond again,
It's
so
threaded
Twitter
now, isn't it?
Twitter's algorithm is like threaded, and also like a really popular one or a more popular account. Like because my Twitter account's verified, my reply is higher up the list than like.
right,
Carl's would
okay,
be.
so it weights the responses.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but it's
matter.
not,
Well,
there's no exact science to it. It's like
Right.
there might be one where like Carl replies and his is top and mine's below it.
Yeah.
But like
Someone
verified
in it-
accounts get more weight, big accounts get more weight, funny replies.
When I looked at that tweet, and it happens all the time, the first one was like, no, a lot of children are starving around the world on Christmas Day. Do you not think you should be worrying about that than playing football? And you're like, why? Why tweet that, you miserable, negative, pious cunt? There's no point apart from doing that. Like, I've said left, I'm going to say right.
Yeah.
I'm famous and I said up, well, I'm saying down.
Yeah.
Just horrible, pointless, like,
I've started in a really strange way to feel sorry for those people. And I think that's probably given them far too much leeway and credit or whatever. But I always think when I get like an unnecessarily negative or nasty response to something.
You've said it before, you do a very like...
No, I've even stopped doing that. I don't really give it any attention
right,
now.
all right.
But I just like, if I put something like whatever and someone's like, nah, 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 I always just think, what has their afternoon been like for that to be their response? Because it can't have been better than mine. Because no one genuinely happy is being a cunt on the internet to people they don't know.
Someone messaged me on Insta the other day to say something like quite nice, and he literally put in the thing, he went, I know you're not the kind of person to like reply to comments or whatever, but I just wanted to say this. And you're like, yeah, it would take a lot for me to start replying to comments. So if I tweet and you reply and I don't reply, it's not because I'm like above you or anything. I just think you can get lost in the to and fro. And I listen to a lot of American podcasts. We all like podcasts. I've been listening to podcasts pretty intensively for about 5, 6, 7, 8 years. And don't know why I didn't pick a number, 8 years. And so many of the American comics have talked about how they needed to cull that from their life. Not social media, not culling social media, just getting trapped in bitchy little fucking competitions and arguments with ultimately people you don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same with the Facebook groups with comedy. Like, that, the only saving grace with Facebook, because I know it's one of the easiest ones to think, it's almost a bit redundant. It feels like it's for sort of like your Auntie Linda and some EDL supporters.
Yeah.
What I would say is, it's great for the stand-up clips if you haven't followed us on Facebook, our stand-up clips stay up there. It's like it's like we're getting new followers from Facebook all the time because videos that have done well keep going. Yeah. Whereas Twitter just burns them, Facebook keeps them. But it's also useful, Facebook, for groups like the stand-up for the NFL one that we're in, which is just comics
Conversations
talking about,
with your mate,
yeah. And then the Facebook work for comedy. I know you don't use it loads, but I even helped admin it for a bit. And in the end, I was like, that was the one last place where I had to go, I'm going to stop getting into these like arguments, because you look at people going, you're wasting your fucking day. Yeah. You've said your point. They've said theirs. You're never going to see each other in the real world. Just fucking let it go.
I'm getting really good at just deleting stuff before I send it. So like yesterday, I put a tweet out about Liverpool, and another Liverpool fan replied, well, no. And I typed a big reply and I went, what are you doing? And I just deleted it and put my phone down, and I felt so much better. Because
you're at the level where you can make your tweet, make your statement, because people are following you for comedy, the podcast, but also Liverpool. I'm not joking. Yeah. I know more about Liverpool Football Club than I want or need to know. Yeah. I've unfollowed so many people on social media. You're one of the few people. I'm missing information about my family and where they are in their life, pictures of their kids, and I know more about like Liverpool Football Club just through you tweeting.
Yeah, it's
But you can just put that tweet up there now and be like, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, so I have my notifications set as well to, if you don't follow me, I don't see anything. So if you're not a follower and you're just being a cunt, I'll never see it.
Right.
I don't get those notifications. You have to be following me or me following you for me to see any replies. And even then, like, I often go, like, you'll notice if I go on my Twitter thing, like, see the way my Twitter's got no notification thing there.
Oh, it's a really good way to
But if I go on it, that'll come up now. There'll be something there.
Yeah.
Oh, on the rare occasion, it's not.
Can I just say as well?
I just cleared it.
Our Have a Word Pod Twitter is the one we use a lot. The Instagram, it's all at Have a Word Pod. There's loads of notifications, and I am now having to work on putting the phone down.
Yeah.
Because before I started working with you guys or Adam last year, I didn't have an Instagram. I wasn't enjoying social media at all. And it was you that were like, you basically went, you need an Instagram and we need to play the game on this. And I've started enjoying it more and more. And now with Twitter,
Instagram's the best one for me.
But I'm enjoying Twitter because I'm less like, I don't
You're not
really,
scrolling as well.
I don't really do politics and I don't do sport. But what I'm finding is that having to just leave the phone, because I'm not getting any negatives, but there's so many notifications. Yeah. It's a bit overwhelming. So if we don't respond to your comments or your tweets, it's not because we're above it. It's just because every time I pick up my phone, every 20 minutes, there's another 20 notifications.
It's also like I see arguments now from like people I know, or like I'll be on their Facebook or their Twitter, and you never see people who disagree have a big thread and then go, you know what, I see what you mean. Never happens. You've got one person who thinks it's black and another person who thinks it's white, and they both 1000% believe that they're right. Like, this chair is black. No, it's white. And here's why it's white. And no, you haven't looked into it. It's fucking white. Well, you haven't looked into the thing I've looked into. It's fucking black.
And then it gets nasty.
And it just becomes worse and worse and worse. They just get hard, and then their followers start arguing with each other. Nothing gets solved. And like, I'll still tweet the odd thing about politics. I will do. I'll still tweet the odd. But what I want to start doing, even with footy and stuff, I'm trying to tweet less about it, because even that is less enjoyable for me, because people just don't know how to have any humour about footy.
Would there not? I sometimes think that with your Twitter. This is a genuine question. I think that about your Twitter. I wonder why a social media for sport never got going. Where you could, because with that Facebook NFL group, I put things up there like pictures or whatever, or we just ask each other questions that I would never dream of putting on my Facebook, because everyone would be like, what are you on about? Is there not, like, do you ever think that when you're tweeting about football that people follow you and aren't asked, or like?
No, because I just think they just ignore it. Like, I scroll past so much stuff.
Yeah. That's sort of the form of it, isn't it?
I just, like, people are so humorless about footy. Like, I love talking about footy. Like, Liverpool lost last night for the first time in 3.5 years at home. Carl's been taking a piss out of it all day. I love that shit. And I love when Everton are shit in a couple of weeks again. I'll get to wind him up about it. I love that. But you try and do it on Twitter, and people who actually like you get really, really, really angry because it's their thing. And there's no tone of voice with a tweet. It just looks like you're being a cunt sometimes.
Oh, mate.
And it's so hard to judge you. And
reading the comments of footballers who are like giving their tweets about some of it gets so nasty. Like racist, horrible shit. Like I saw Ian Wright had screen grabbed something that had been sent. It's just this kid being fucking vile. And you're like, something about football just clicks someone into just rage, doesn't it?
Tribalism, isn't it? Same with politics. It's just tribalism.
Yeah.
It's me and my people versus you and your people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can see it.
There's more tribes in it with politics. It's basically I don't know.
three.
Don't know any Tories, and if I do know Tories, they're keeping it fucking well quiet.
Yeah,
because it's basically two teams, and then the third team, which is bigger, is like, yeah, not asked.
Yeah.
Whereas football is like, my team, big team, small team, big team, big team.
I want to use my social media from now on to celebrate my successes and to be funny. I want to be like, I'm having a good time. Isn't that nice? And also, here's a joke. And
that's why Instagram's good, because it's a bit, it's a like, yeah.
Right. That feels like a nice little time for me to go for a wee and us to have a break.
You bust in.
I really need a wee, and I'm hungry, and I might get a KFC today for the first time in a while.
Oh, the snack wraps are back, baby. That's what we're doing for lunch.
Got another repeat guest in today. Who is it? Who the fuck is it? Who the fuck is this guy?
Who the fuck is that guy? We don't need to actually say who it is. It's who the fuck is that guy.
Yeah, he'll be in a minute. Bye, Felice. Jingle balls to the walls, fellas. Support for Have a Word, the podcast, comes from manscaped.com. Precision engineering tools for your family jewels. Now, we all know untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past. Girls don't like it. It's time to sort yourself out down there, and we can help you with that with Manscaped's Perfect Package 3.0. Now, what's in that package? First of all, you get the Lawnmower 3.0, which is a trimmer specifically for your balls. You don't want to be using the trimmer you use on your face, on your bollocks. That's nasty, innit? And with the skin-safe technology of the Lawnmower 3.0, you can shave away without worrying you're going to snag the bag. No more bleeding balls in the shower. It's perfect, okay? On top of that, you get a bit of ball deodorant and some ball wipes. These products smell manly. These smell good. You're going to be smelling good down there. You're already putting deodorant on your armpits. Why are you not putting deodorant on the smelliest part of your body? Your balls stink. Time to sort it out. Once you've shaved, once you've deodorant, you can pull on the Manscaped boxies that also come in the Perfect Package 3.0. You get all of this in one bundle, and they've just released this package just in time for the Christmas season. You can get this for yourself, for your husband, for your brother, for your kids, maybe not, but you can get it for whoever you want. And I'm telling you right now, their balls will thank you. Also, as a listener of Have a Word, you get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with our exclusive promo code WORD. That's WORD. You can go to manscaped.com now, use the promo code WORD, and get yourself some of the best male grooming products on the planet. Nice one.
He's weird. He is being weird.
I'm not being weird.
He's going to do the bit.
I'm going to do what bit?
It's just the rashes on my dick, and it's made my dad ill.
What?
How you doing? You all right? Hey! Hey!
What's that?
Hey! It's this guy! Hey! I'm doing a fucking party here.
You from Macedonia?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Macedonian accent, that Freddy. I don't know whether you know. Hey!
Freddie knows
I'm from Macedonia!
He knows his accents. He knows his accents. He knew that. Hey, Freddy Quinne!
Oh, we've started.
Hey!
Oh, we started. I thought that was preamble.
No. This is all fire, mate. You can't fucking let that gold go down the drain.
Still get pregnant with preamble.
Do you have many listeners in Macedonia?
Only Mother Teresa's family.
Is she from Macedonia?
Where she was born, and then she was raised in fucking India.
Well, say no more.
Yeah.
I thought she was Italian for some reason. I think it's the rig out. The colours.
I think it's his accent.
I think it's the name Teresa's Italian, isn't it? It's Italian for Teddy.
Oh, yeah. Mother Teddy. John's brother.
It's eye-watering, the level of bullshit. that is spewed out on this fucking rather popular YouTube and podcast show.
You know when a podcast has been going for quite a long time, when you literally run out of things to talk about, so you go on about Mother Teresa.
Not only go on about her, make her a feature of a whole episode. And we thought we'd all be like, we nailed that Mother Teresa bit, and apparently, got a guest in, fucking fire her back
Well,
up
I want to
again.
ask Freddy his opinion on it.
Well,
Would you goose her? Would you shag Mother Teresa given the opportunity?
would I shag her given the opportunity? What now?
Not like she's alive.
No,
in the-
that's
in a scenario.
weird, Freddie. She's dead.
You don't dig her up. Like she's alive and well, and she wants your dick.
How old is she? She
87.
87.
And she's in the Royal Liverpool Hospital. Let's do it again. She's in the Royal Liverpool Hospital for some unknown fucking reason.
On her
And Dr.
deathbed.
Adam is administering the last rites, which is fucking weird as well. Made the call to her agent. She signed to off the curb. Yeah.
Bit of diversity,
Yes.
good.
So you have to go in to the hospital, bang her, and then
Right.
she's like,
Peace out, homeboy.
Or
Do you get anything for banging her other than like the
You just get the
satisfaction of?
knowledge that you were the first and only.
hey, I'll give you this. You're allowed to put it on TikTok, the whole thing.
if I'm aware,
Telling me that's
the
not getting
act,
some
but you
views.
get to do a selfie saying I've just banged Mother Teresa.
Hi
With her in the
guys.
background.
Hi guys,
Final
I'm just here at the
words,
Royal Liverpool. There's Teresa.
Why? I can't breathe. Freddy's
stole me fucking joke.
Yeah.
Final words, but I can't believe that work with Freddy.
Yeah, there you go.
You little poo.
Is it
Just
wrong
be a
to say
producer.
that purely based on like looks? I don't think I could get it up for her.
Come on, lad.
But there's something
It's fresh, untouched poom.
But there's something that does make me curious about what a hand job would feel like. Do you know what I mean? It's the hand job thing. I'd let her wank me off. There you go.
Yeah. Being a little
The
bony.
gnarled hand.
Yeah.
I'll grant you 3 wishes.
Thing is, though, she's got God's phone number. Do you know what I mean? If you did that for her, you might get like a blessing.
So
International sign for blessing.
so I'd fuck her on the off chance that she put in a good word about my dick to Jesus. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
She got Jesus on fucking speed dial. It's like, J-Bomb, listen. Just being given a fucking good hard Poland by Freddie Quinne. Could have done with an extra inch
You're
or
obsessed
two.
with a phone line to God. She's just died. She can speak to him in person on speed dial. All right, JC, God, the Holy Ghost, one of them cunts. I don't even know how that works.
Oh, I do.
Yeah. Do you? Have you been speaking to one of those?
So, there's
those
the father.
those Hindu nuns.
There's the Father,
Yeah.
the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And God is in all 3 of them. So they are 3 separate entities, but God is in all of them. Imagine
So
this.
God's in God.
Imagine
Fact.
You get a jar of jam, right? And you put bits of that jam in 3 different donuts. Those donuts are still their own donuts.
Yeah.
But they've all got jam in.
Do you know what's weird about that is? One is a jar of jam, and that's in a donut that is called a jar of
Look
jam.
at his face.
The last time I was here, there was a little bit of back and forth banter about how some of my analogies don't quite work. And even for me, what you were saying was a fucking stretch.
You know what I mean, though?
God is not a preserve.
No, he isn't. He's a fucking gobshite who owes me money.
What for?
Just let it just let it float. Let it float.
How are you, Fred?
I'm all right, mate. I'm glad to be out of the fucking house.
Do you believe in God on any level?
No. Okay,
good
I
chap.
was raised at a Catholic school, and my nan was quite
St.
religious.
Teresa's?
Yeah, man.
Oh, hellos.
Yeah, mate.
It's so
It's almost
funny.
like we grew up on the same street.
It's almost like we grew up on
Hang
the
on.
same fucking street.
Is that her school?
St. Treat. What?
Oh, fucking hell.
Is that her school?
Yes, that's what she did. She helped starving children in Calcutta, and she set up a school in Penn with them.
Yeah.
Well, I imagine the actual Saint Teresa, if it's not her, didn't set up that school either.
But when the school was you have to be dead to be a saint,
Right. When was the school set up?
like before she died.
Right. Oh, okay.
Has she been canonised? Has she?
Canonised.
I reckon
But there
so.
was a St. Teresa before her.
Yeah.
So she's the Saint. She's Saint Teresa 2.
Right. God.
She's like flagrant 2. She's the best.
Saint Teresa.
Are you telling me? Are you telling me
Swish.
that Mother Teresa
You're in a fucking mental mood.
Was fired out of a cannon. You said canonized.
Yeah, that's what they call it when you make a saint, but you can only have, it's like Twitter handles, you can only have one saint with one name, so she's like Saint Teresa 2.
Right.
Saint T_Reza.
No, she's the Saint Teresa.
No, she'd be Saint Mother Teresa.
She's real Saint Teresa.
No, it's like when those comedians put like John Smith comedy, it's Saint Teresa Forgiveness.
But what if it's like Saint Mo?
She's
Because they just use the start of Mother.
She's Mother Marisa. Kobe.
How have you just managed to say the most ridiculous thing anyone said on stage?
Yeah, it's just it was a social media joke, but at least it wasn't canonized.
She
fucking lit.
Wouldn't she be Saint Mo for the start of Mother, just to make everything easier? There can't be another Saint Mo.
EastEnders.
Got an head stoved in by
Saint
Saint.
We were like the C of E normal Christians, and then you were on the other side of the field. You were St. Teresa, the little Cathys.
Yeah, but I mean, and
I know we're not a sectarian area of Preston, but I really did think you were very different to us.
Did you?
I felt it.
Which one did you go to?
Crookins Lane.
Did you? Crookins Lane had manky uniforms.
Maroon and blue.
Yeah.
But you had grey and yellow. It was horrible.
Yeah, it wasn't good, was it?
No.
But they just felt like they looked fresher.
Is there any other saints you'd like to fuck?
We're going down memory lane here.
Saint Christopher.
Why?
Patron saint of travel.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right.
Just thought I'd get me motorway diversions out.
I thought you were doing like a COVID travel corridor. I've got my own travel corridor.
What's she the saint of? Can you Google her for us, please? What is Mother Teresa the saint
Nothing.
of?
She's
Don't
only
think you have
died.
to be the saint of something anymore. You can just be like a saint.
She only died
yeah.
20 years ago. What she be like the saint of online banking or something? Do you know what I mean? She's a very modern saint. What's Mother Teresa saint? Actually, really good working wireless routers.
The patron
Saint of Bitcoin.
She's
Doing all right. Old fucking Mo.
Is she a saint of anything?
No, but her title is the Superior General.
The Superior General? She's going to fucking war with Satan.
She hasn't got a specific role.
No, she hasn't. Yeah.
In the gap.
Role?
Do you really? Are your family still Catholic? Are they still doing it?
My immediate family pretended to be Catholic, so I get into a better school.
Classic that, innit?
Yeah.
All Hallows is a better school than yeah.
The other one, yeah.
I will christen my kids if they can go to St. Margaret Mary's, the school I went to. Good school, that.
Well, a lot of people do that. So here's a thing that happens that doesn't officially happen, but I'll tell you that it happens. So basically, you're not allowed to choose what kids you get, right? So at year 7... Schools. Yeah, I mean schools.
Madonna did.
Hey! Fucking hell.
So what will happen is, at year 7, what should happen is the kids that just get dumped there are just the fucking kids that get dumped there. And if you get a particularly thick cohort of kids, then you just have to fucking make it work, yeah? But
Who has to make it work?
the school just has to make it work. They have to make them get good grades. That's
But if religion is put in as a little caveat,
but if religion gets put in as a caveat, then they can begin to pick and choose which kids they take. So let's say you're a religious school and you have fucking Thicky McThickerson who wants to come to your school and he's going to bring all your grades down because he's a thick cunt. What you can do is you can go, have you been to every fucking Sunday mass for the last 10 years? And the kid's like, well, I missed one. And you're like, you're fucking out, mate.
I've been going to the Esso garage for my breakfast for the last 10 years.
Exactly.
I've not been baptised. You'll be surprised to hear.
Whereas the clever kids, the ones that you want at the school because they're going to bring the grades up, you go, can you say the word God? Yes. Great. You're
No, you have to go and sit with... We had to go and sit with the vicar. That's how... I don't know where...
That's because you were the thick kid and they were trying to keep you out.
No.
But you just passed the test.
What are you on about?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
No, it wasn't because it was because that's what you had to do to get into school. You had to get a thing from
Unless you were clever. The clever ones, the ones above you, they just let them in.
So
Yeah.
what kind of officially, unofficially happens sometimes is that the criteria for letting the clever kids in is a lot looser than the thick ones. And then that way, they can pick and choose which ones they want. And naturally, because they
Did you have to have a letter from the priest, from St. Teresa's, to get in?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dodgy when you think about it, isn't it, basically?
Oh.
To use religion as we are going to choose who we want. Because we weren't really religious. My mum just knew how to play the fucking game. So we had to basically just sit there. I remember going to see the vicar, and it was the weirdest, you're just sit and have a cup of tea with him. Mum there, me there, oh, so you want to go to this school? No, and I don't want to be in your fucking living room, vicar. We don't even go to your church. And we all did this nice smiley thing, and then he writes a letter, and you get in a C of E grammar school. It's horrible.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is as well, is it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because what happens is they take the best kids, the best academic kids, they then get the best results, and they look like the best school. And then so more people want to go to it because they think it's the best school. Half the time, these Catholic schools aren't the best schools, really. It's just they take the best kids, so naturally they get the best fucking results.
Conspiracy. There's a God conspiracy going on.
There's definitely a conspiracy with religion and education in this country.
I went to do that sit-down thing with the priest to get into Cardinal Heenan from St. Margaret Mary's. So St. Margaret Mary's is the church, right in Dovecot where I grew up. The parish club is where we used to drink as a family and stuff. And I was year 6 or whatever, and our priest was the gayest man. You knew he was gay 3 weeks before you met him. Do you know what I mean?
How did you get in the school, Adam?
Well, I got in the school.
Adam's a very bright student.
Wasn't asking to give you 3 weeks warning, though.
He's hungry for knowledge.
I nearly got in a lot of trouble when I asked him in front of me mum and dad, I didn't think God liked you to be gay.
Wow.
Never.
He brought tea in, and I can barely remember it. I was already young.
How gay was he?
He had a doily and everything. Do you know what I mean?
Really?
Oh yeah. So he sat down and he was talking to me about school, and I went, "Can I ask you a question?" And he went, "Yeah, of course. That's what we're here for. I ask you questions, you ask me questions." And I went, "I didn't think God liked it if you were gay." And he went, "I'm not gay. I'm married to the church. I don't go near men or women." And I was like, "Yeah."
Is the church a man?
When we come out, my mum was like, "You're a fucking idiot. He's not gay. He's just got an effeminate voice." And I was like, "I didn't know, mum. I
still got in though."
Yeah, I still got in. Don't know what my fucking dad had to do to make that happen.
Listen. Your son isn't Cardinal Heenan material, but over in that room, Mother Teresa's dying for a shag.
Your dad did the thing that Forrest Gump's mum did. The Cardinal Heenan priest was like, "Fucking hell, lads. Oh, your dad is very, very interested in your education." And you were just there going,
you were
what
telling
a
us...
weird fucking thing to have to go through.
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? You were telling us just before we started, because you've never really mentioned as part of your comedy before, or certainly not last time you were on here, that you've done quite a lot of teaching, but you've just told us that you're not asked anymore because you're never going back to it.
Yeah, fuck it. It's done now.
Why?
I'm done with it. Because I fucking hate it.
Why do you hate it, though?
It's
What about
really...
enriching and improving the lives of millions of children?
It's really hard.
Is it?
That's... it's easily the hardest job that
It's not what you want to be doing anyway. It was I remember when I got mates with you, you were doing your PGCE just as you were starting to get a lot of paid gigs. And you were like, "Yeah, it's not ideal. I just want to I want a fallback." And I was like, it's a clever move, but it's not like you wanted to be in teaching. You are a comic. That was but this last year's jiggled everything up, hasn't it?
Because you look at, right, when I started to get paid work and stuff, I was very conscious of the old shit comics that were trapped on the circuit. And they hadn't achieved what they wanted to achieve in life, but they had nothing else. Because they're in the fucking...
Name just one. Just name one.
No. They're in their 50s or whatever. They can't fucking walk into a job and then it says, "Oh, I was a comedian for the last 30 years. All right, cool. Well, we're going to start you off a minimum wage." It's just not going to work for them.
No, you've been working for yourself. Comics are so... the captain of their own fucking weird ship.
Yeah.
To then be like, now you're part of our team where the supervisor's 28 and he's an absolute hard-on. It's not going to...
This is it. And there are, as well, I think every comedian has a glass ceiling where they just aren't going to get better than that. And I don't think you know.
It's so brutal.
It is, isn't
it's
it?
So true.
And the thing is, as well, is you don't know where your glass ceiling is until you can feel something rubbing against your fucking head. And then you're like, oh shit, 50 quid middles is my glass ceiling. I'm fucked.
Yeah, but you two have been doing it at the point.
name popped into my head there.
Yeah. But you two have been doing it long enough that, like, at 10 years in, you're still like, oh, this feels a little bit ceilingy, but I'm sure there's more going. Mate, when you've been doing it 15, 20 years, there is a bit where you're like, oh yeah, this feels all very, it's like repetitive. You've found your ceiling. It is a brutal thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That's life.
You're probably finding ceilings for yourself at the moment. Like you're probably not going to get on TV. And I'm probably not either. It's just something that's just not really going to work for us.
No, it's why you hustle for other avenues,
totally.
isn't it?
And you feel the little bump and you go, oh, I'm not going to go down that route. Okay.
Pivot.
And then you got this instead, which is miles better than fucking TV, which is, great because you're the masters of your own destiny pretty much. But I never
I don't know if you know, you can't do the Mother Teresa deathbed on the BBC. I don't think they're going to okay it.
I would like to get it checked.
Okay, right. Well, we'll speak to our people.
If you're willing to let me, because obviously we do stuff on this and, we could turn them into bits. I feel like we both contributed a lot to that. If I can have that routine, if I do get a stand-up slot at the BBC, I will try and get it cleared.
Right, then I walk out with the postcard sellotape to my face again.
Hello, Adam. You said we could do it again.
It's not as good, is it?
Imagine that on Live at the Apollo. Just no explanation. No explanation. Nothing about the podcast or even how you two know each other.
Yeah. Just the walking embodiment of glass ceiling walks out with Mother Teresa sellotape to his
Not
face.
even that he's a comic, just that it's like a random bloke that you've got to come out just so this bit will work. Hello, I have wrinkly hands. I give a hand job.
The glass ceiling is real.
So,
I felt it.
But for some guys and ladies and other, I don't know what to say anymore. There is a. What did you say? People.
Like, listen.
That sort of encompasses everyone, unless you don't regard people of different genders as
Yeah,
people.
Freddie's like really struggling. Men or women or, oh, fuck. Just people.
Well, I think you're familiar enough with my body of work to know what I feel about the subject. No, so look, there are people who like the glass ceiling is doing a fucking 100 quid gig in Grimsby. Do you know what I mean? And that's that. And I looked at those people, and the thing is when you get to that, when you're in such a precarious situation for work, you never want to mix your setup. You always want to do the gold, which is just. It gets every year. It gets a little bit older and a little bit shitter.
Oh,
and
fear is not great for development of stuff.
I saw so many of those people, and they were clinging on to the circuit by their fucking feet. They were going to Carlisle to put the electricity on, and it was just like, And I thought I would rather give up comedy than be one of those people. I'd rather not do it. And look at myself in the mirror every day and go, I failed on my own terms.
Is this is back in the day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've just realised that when you said go to Carlisle to put the electricity on, you mentioned that they could pay their own electricity bill and not just going to turn on Carlisle's Christmas lights.
every year in Cumbria, they have a big thing. We're going to put the lights on now in everyone's houses. Oh, we've got comedian Freddy Quinne. He's come all the way to Cumbria.
I'd fucking do that gig. I don't give a shit. I'd do that gig.
I don't know.
Did you say Carlisle?
Yeah, man.
Do you know, this is a 100% true story. So, comics that will eventually sit on that couch from the Northeast who are friends of ours. I'm not sure if I've told you this before. Chris Ramsey, obviously very famous Geordie comedian. Jason Cook, who you lived with for a bit, didn't you? And, Stephen Petty. So they were all in Jason Cook's BBC Two sitcom Heaven, which is a small suburb of Tyneside. And it was the title of the show. And someone got in touch with the show and wanted to book Chris Ramsey for what I can't remember the figure, but a derisory amount of money to come and turn the Christmas lights on, right? So Chris was like, no. I don't even think it got to Chris. I think his agent just went, don't be fucking stupid. And then they were like, well, can we have Jason then? And Jason was like, I don't want to fucking do that. Not doing it. Stephen Petty was like, I'll fucking do it. What, go and flick a switch for a few £100 or whatever it was? I'll fucking do it. I'll go down. It was some cunt's living room. This is true. I could ring Stefan and get him to tell you. He literally had to like lean behind the telly.
No.
And flick on a 4-plug.
Oh, amazing.
Oh, that's so fucking funny.
I hope he got paid cash for that, just for that awful moment.
Also
You
as
did
well,
that fucking great.
Also as well, if there's one person that you didn't want leaning behind your telly, it's 30 stone Stefan Petty.
Who once rang me to cancel a gig because his car was in the garage and he couldn't get his hire car on.
It's amazing.
He's too big for his hire car.
Yeah. His hire car didn't fit him. They gave him a KA, and he was like, it was when I ran a gig at Hope Uni. Twice it's been mentioned today, innit? Yeah, he was booked to do it. And he was like, can't get me fucking car on. It's too small.
That's fucking
He's
brilliant.
big boned. He's heavy structured.
Yep.
That's why I got into teaching anyway, because I wanted to have a backup, just in case I ever had to fucking take a gig where I switch someone's fucking meter on. Do you know what I mean? No chance. So, yeah, I got into teaching, and then I trained for a year, and then I did 2 years for an NQT, which is like your first initial year of teaching. Once I was qualified, then I just fucked it off, and I thought, well, what I'll do is
You qualified as a teacher, and I was like, I'm doing fine as a comic. So you basically did everything you needed to do to get the qualification. And then they were like, right, Freddy, so where do you want to go? I want to go to Carlisle for £100, so fuck you.
Yeah. And then, well, the thing is the idea was that I could always have supply to lean back on. I've been doing some supply during the pandemic, and it's fucking crap. It's just dog shit.
The supply is when teachers are off sick and you go in and sort of have to walk into teaching a class that you've sort of got no idea where they're up to or what they're doing.
Yes, and you basically just have to make it up as you go along.
Yeah.
So I have taught Spanish during the pandemic.
Do you speak any Spanish?
Can't speak a fucking word. None.
How do you do that?
No bien. I don't fucking know.
Just make it up.
You are sorry?
You're just a class full of kids in Preston who just can't speak Spanish now because you told them all the wrong words.
I'll show you how I do it, right? And this only works with younger kids. Older kids see straight through it, right? Let's say there's a fucking question on the board. What does soy mean or something like that? Yeah? What does soy mean? Okay, Adam, what do we think? What does soy mean?
Penis.
Is he right? And then the class will let you know.
What if they all go, no?
Then you go, he's not right. What do we think? And then someone will go, oh, I am. Is she right?
He's just playing higher and lower with the class.
Literally, Bruce Forsyth. Higher than a penis, you say, and I am. It's literally as easy as that.
Right.
But then sometimes you will teach, like, so for example, I had to teach a year 11 class physics, the lesson before the mock exam.
Oh, that's not fun.
Literally, one of the kids was like, "Sir, what's the formula for converting kinetic energy through to excess heat energy?" And it's like, I
don't. You
I
need
don't even know
your
what you
real
just said.
teacher's
Yeah.
phone number and ring his sick ass and ask.
they're all self-isolating, so it's like.
So you've been doing this since, like, the schools went back in what, like July or June, July?
Well,
Have
no,
you
that's
been
school holidays, isn't it? July. So
No, when did the schools go back? June.
September.
Did they go back in September? I thought they went back before. So have you been picking off bits?
I did some bits, and I did some bits in November as well.
By the way, can I just say, that summer holiday was a load of shit, wasn't it? Like, right, schools have been off when? Well, from the end of March right through until about June. Like, well, we're going to need the summer holiday though, aren't we, guys? Definitely. End of July into August. That's absolutely massively important. Have we just been off for 5 months? Yeah, never mind that.
It's the children's mental health, they're really struggling at the moment.
Yeah. I love it when parents do that, like, I need my child to go back because their mental health and I need them to fuck out of the house. Like, all right. Yeah, sure, it's about their mental health.
But you've been quite vocal, like not to get too serious, comedy podcast, very funny, ha ha ha. But
thanks for summing it up. That's our new bio.
Comedy podcast, very funny.
spoken like a foreign national.
Me make talk, Mother Teresa pum pum. Very many laugh. Ha!
It's like you got a Serbian man to sum up your podcast.
Adam Rowe, comedy man, Liverpool. Grandad Dave, boring. Freddy, not teacher.
But you have been quite vocal about the fact, because, you know, there's parents who listen to this, not good ones, but there's some. Because you really don't think the kids should be in school, because you basically think they're not getting an education anyway.
Oh, they're not. Absolutely. So I used to be fucking, like, especially when I was a teacher, like, my line was always that unless your kid is literally fucking dying, then they have to go into school. None of this fucking, oh, he's got a migraine so he can't come in. Fuck off. Get your kid into school. Stop being a prick. Because you can't miss school. Because what happens is, you've got to think of this from a teacher's perspective, right? You've got 30 fucking kids in the class. Let's say they're in year 10 or year 11, where it starts to get important, right? Let's say you have 2 kids off on the week where you talk about a character from a book. And then you teach it to the other 28. And then the next week you move on to a different character. And those 2 kids come back. Well, how the fuck are you going to... What, are you going to teach two sets at once? What, are you going to teach the 2 and then they're going to miss out on something else? Like, what the fuck do you do? So, like, actually kids missing school is a massive fucking problem when you're teaching, because the curriculum's so goddamn tight that you can't afford for any days off and shit like that. But at the moment, they just aren't getting an education. Like, again, I can't speak a fucking word of Spanish. It's pointless me being in that room and being like, what's Bon mean? What? Anyone who knows?
But they have to be there because, especially like, even like if they're key workers' kids, they have to be in at the moment, don't they?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but it's not a school, is it? It's more like a fucking creche.
Because the amount of staff that are off is insane. Like, I was working at places where over 50% of teachers were off. Now, that's just unbelievable. Like, if you have... in a school, if you have 2 or 3 teachers off on one day, it's like, oh, bloody hell, we're snowed under at the moment. It's insane. It's unprecedented. Because...
And now you've got half the staff off. What, isolating, actually got COVID?
Yeah, one of the following. Because the thing is so the one where I taught, the one where I taught physics... The head of science was meant to teach them that day, which is a good shout on paper, innit? She got a text message at 8:05 to say, you've got to self-isolate. And so she spoke to the head, and she was like, says I've got to go. And they were like, yeah, you've got to. You can't be insured to be at school. So they just fucked her off at 8:05, and that was that. And then I had to come in, and I'm just a body in the fucking room. I don't know any goddamn physics. So it's like...
Jesus.
So it's pointless them being open. And also as well, you cannot like socially distance and stop it from spreading. You just can't. It's impossible.
Are the kids bothered about COVID? Are they talking about it? Like, are they even aware of what's going on? Or?
I was teaching in schools when killer clowns were a thing. And do you remember killer clowns? Like people dressing up as clowns and scaring the shit out of kids.
2 years ago?
No, it was about 4 years ago.
Wasn't it after it? Was it like 4 years ago?
About 4 years ago.
When
I
it
don't
came
really
out.
remember that, because we touched on that. We were at one point, like, we didn't end up doing it, so I'm just going to sort of say it. We were looking at doing, it was only when we had like 500 patrons as well. It's like 5 times the size of that now. We were going to do a big prank of some sort. We were going to use the 500 patrons to, like, want you all to tweet at the same time saying you've seen like a UFO, and see if we can get it trending or something. And one of the ideas we had was to just get loads of people to dress up as clowns and go to Nugent Park in Liverpool and just spread this, like, what the fuck are all these clowns doing in Nugent Park every night?
How brutal would that be when it was just 3 podcast listeners turned up? One of them hadn't even made the effort with the clown costume, and none of us could be fucking arsed. You'd lose 3 listeners there going, I fucking spent... It's a proper Pennywise. Bastard.
But yeah, you one of you guys or one of the patrons mentioned that then, like, there was like this killer clown thing, but I
So
it's big in America, wasn't it?
Yeah, because we're adults, and for us, we don't see a dude dressed up as a clown and go, oh my God, he might hurt me. You go, look at that fucking prick.
If it was dark and there was someone walking down the street with a clown mask on, I'd fucking run a mile.
Would you?
What?
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
I would think probably a pedo. Like, what clown's walking down the street? I'm a nighttime clown. I go to nighttime children's parties.
Also,
he's on a
scary,
register.
wouldn't it? I'd be like,
but not for you.
why? He might have a knife,
Oh,
Yeah,
babe.
so might you.
but I haven't.
Yeah, but neither's he.
Yeah, but he could get one.
But you wouldn't think that he's a pedo either, because one thing about paedophiles is that they don't try and attract attention to themselves, do they?
Do you know what I say? Big fucking red car with a nose on the top.
Where is,
you're
where
looking at
is
him
the
going-
honour of paedophilia these days? Dress up as a clown. Let us know.
You're looking at him like, well, this is a bizarre double bluff situation that he's doing.
I can hear footsteps. Slap, slap, slap.
Yeah, I mean, pedos keep a low profile, generally speaking, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know, there's been some high-profile paedophiles out this year. Don't know whether you've heard about Prince Andrew being shagging the lot of them, mate. In the art and everything.
Do you reckon he'll ever get done for that?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Is Mars the Queen?
Yeah, exactly. It's mad. How...
And do you know what? Right, let me just say this. If my ma...
This isn't a conspiracy either.
If my ma was the Queen and I got in any sort of trouble with the law, I'd be fucking fuming. Do you know what I mean? If your ma's the Queen, I expect her to help me out.
Oh, yeah, you deserve a pass, don't you?
No, you don't deserve it, but you would expect it.
A royal pardon.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens a lot, doesn't it? Royal pardons. That means you don't have to go to court or anything.
Well,
That's how that works, isn't it? Oh, no, that's right.
Has any prince ever been prosecuted in your lifetime?
What are you asking me questions that you know I don't know the answer and you don't know the answer?
Exactly.
So as soon as neither of us know the answer, he goes, exactly. Could be true. End of. There you go. 5G, Hillary Clinton, each children. Prince Andrew has fucked me, he's fucked a clown, and he's fucked kids, and he's fucked Freddy's children from school. There you go. Do you know that he's not? There you go. He could have.
He's so finished with conspiracies.
Do you really not think he shagged that girl?
Oh, God.
Have you not seen that interview?
Oh, it's just a lack of information on your part. You've seen 2 tweets, not concentrated.
I've
moved
seen
on.
the interview with Emily Maitlis where he's like, I
are we
can't sweat
talking
while he's
about this
pissing with sweat. Doesn't like conspiracies, Dan.
Yeah.
But this isn't a conspiracy.
I
I
mean,
can't wait for you to start your fucking conspiracy podcast.
I think some
And I
conspiracies...
will not be a guest.
Some conspiracies are bollocks. Like, Flat Earth is bollocks for idiots. But I do think that Prince Andrew fucked an underage person at some point. I think it's just too much
It's
of a
not
coincidence.
really a conspiracy, is it?
That's what I'm saying.
Like-
I'm saying it is.
All right.
If you,
I'm not saying...
if you went round to, like, a pedo's house every day
Yeah.
for, like, a year or whatever, and they were outed as a pedo, it's not too much for people to go, well, what were you doing there every day?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah,
know what I mean?
exactly.
It's not too much, is it?
Exactly.
And I think the whole, like, Epstein, you know,
Yeah.
killing himself and shit, I think it's just, there's something
Too
clearly
convenient.
not right.
All very convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But do you know what it is? Is I think that powerful people have worked out that we can only be asked for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we probably have.
We're
between
asked
us.
until the next thing happens.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we go, oh my God, I cannot believe this. This is fucking outrageous. And then we all sleep on it. And then we go, it's fine, isn't it?
And then they go, we're going to make a female Ghostbusters. And everyone goes, no!
I would much rather talk about that.
How much did you waste on track and trace? 11 billion? Female fucking Ghostbusters!
So the
my
kids
God.
are talking about COVID, and you brought up killer clowns, and then
So yeah. So the kids were. I mean, there were some kids that pretended to be scared of killer clowns, but they fucking weren't. But there were children that were genuinely afraid of them because you've got to remember they're fucking kids. They're idiots.
Yeah.
But a lot of them are genuinely afraid of COVID.
Yeah.
Because they've had a year of being told if you don't wear a mask, you might kill your dad. Do you know what I mean? And so it's fucks with their fucking heads.
It's weird. Etta is not even 4, and they've obviously heard. Like we never said coronavirus in front of her. We never talked about it. Like just careful, aren't you? Because you don't want her to be obsessed with germs. She's at such a young age. She just came back from nursery. This is about a month and a half ago, and was like because of the coronavirus. And you're like, where the fuck did that come? And because we laughed, she's just obviously heard it from another kid. Now she just throws it in, like, whenever. She's like, she does a little cough and she's like, oh, I've got coronavirus. And because she's 3, she doesn't know anything. She's just repeating it. It's so funny. However, we've got mates in comedy who've got kids who are like 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. They are smart enough to see death statistics on the news and whatever, even if they're not fully concentrating, they're taking that in. Etta's age, this isn't registering. She won't remember it in 6 months. At that age, it could be fucking really messing with these kids.
Oh, I remember when I was that age, I was terrified of my mum and dad getting a divorce. That was the scariest thing to me. And anytime they had an argument, are you all right, Adam? And anytime they had
It's
an
in a
argument,
really weird mood.
No. I just love the thought of correlating a global infectious pandemic with you watching all your mum and dad's mates getting divorced going, they're going to catch it!
that's what I mean, though. But I always used to think, anytime that they had an argument and stuff, I was like, shit, this is the one. This is fucking it. Do you know what I mean?
Why were you so worried about that?
I don't know, really. I mean, I don't think I really cared.
Did you not want them to be happy?
I was 8, 9, 10. You're not fucking thinking like that.
But that was your big fear.
Yeah,
I was really scared of my gran dying because she smoked. And what I remember one night when I was a kid, I just cried uncontrollably, and they couldn't soothe me because I just got it in my head that if you smoke, you die. And I just watched my gran smoking, and it's because at that age, 8, 9, 10 years old, you're quite bright in a way. You're taking all things in, and I'd seen adverts about smoking, all of this warnings, and I was like, well, I love my gran, and she's smoking, and I got myself so fucking wound up with it that I was inconsolable.
And also, the
I
adverts.
was really scared of Steven Gerrard signing for Chelsea for a while. It got really close for a bit. Do you know what I mean?
Were you all right?
Yeah.
Were inconsolable?
Like just for a little minute there.
It's not real, Adam. It's not real.
The adverts
real.
for
I've
fucking
seen 'em.
smoking as well are horrific. If you're a child watching that, the amount of fucking anti-smoking adverts there are where one person takes a little bit of a fag and then they suddenly turn into like fucking brown sludge and shit. If you're looking at that, you think, yeah, it'll fuck your fucking head up massively.
Yeah, any parents, like, you know when you're like, you can't smoke in front of children, that's a whole new level. I wouldn't let children see the cigarette packet anymore because they are basically a 3D horror fucking film, aren't they? Like, it's absolutely
There was
horrific.
a point when it was non-smoking adverts was like a doctor and he'd go, hiya, I'm a doctor. Oh, don't smoke. And then that was the end of the advert, and then that was it. And then about 2006, they were like, let's up this fucking ante. And then it was like they were smoking and like fat particles were dripping on the floor and shit.
Oh, yeah,
and people were like collapsing and stuff. And you're like, holy fuck.
As a
shit.
non and never smoker, I think that's good.
Good, yeah.
I don't like. I don't.
Oh, no.
No, but
I
if you're 7 and you're watching that and one of your parents or your grandparents smokes,
Yeah.
it'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah, but then I think that's good because then the parent might be like, I need to stop smoking so that my kid's not worried about it.
Yeah, I get it. You're trying. There's a fine line between that, warning them off it and giving them horrific fucking nightmares. Because some of those cigarette packets are. I used to have a bit about this on stage. If you still smoke these days, you do not give a fuck. Because what was my bit? I can't even remember it. Where you're like, I was behind a guy at the counter and they've got like the bulletproof metal sheets and the lad had never worked on the counter before and the guy was directing him from the illnesses on the warning pictures like, no, mate, to the left. No, that's mouth cancer. No, that's not. I want sovereigns. 3 to the left. The tracheotomy. That's my brand. And I know it's an exaggeration, but it literally is that graphic with cigarette packets. They're like all the same colour, all the same print, and then the fucking horrific warnings. Like, I'm all for it. I don't want kids thinking they can smoke, but I would not want Etta even looking at a cigarette packet at this age. It's frightening.
But it does frighten. I mean, it works. You're right. It does work. But they are frightened of COVID now. They are definitely afraid of COVID. And there aren't any fucking... Well, there are like rules and bubbles and things in school, but they just don't fucking work because schools aren't designed like hospitals are. Like hospitals are designed to contain diseases and stuff, and a school's designed.
There's wings and everything.
Yeah, shit. If you think about a school, right, what a school is designed for is to house the most amount of kids in the smallest fucking area, and it's got to be built in a way that 1,000 kids can get to their lessons within 5 minutes all at once.
Yeah.
That's literally how they're built.
And the way they behave, the younger you are, the more... I remember going to my mate's club night and everyone was just bumping into me and you're like, yeah, because I'm 30 and I don't like being bumped into because I like my personal space. That just happens naturally as you get older. These are all 18, 19-year-old students and they're used to being corridors at school and then university where they're crammed in and they're used to barging past each other. So how can you ask enough kids at school to be like, you just stay away and stay there. They don't give a fuck. They're not going to do it.
I've got a great story about how cramped corridors are at schools. So one time I was teaching at this school, and we were in, you know, every school has like one of those buildings that was a temporary building but was up for like 30 fucking years.
The annex.
Yeah.
Yes, mate.
So it was in that, and
the
the corridors were fucking ridiculously small. They were so small that a one-way system was operational because otherwise people couldn't. And kids were square. I was fucking ridiculous in there. It looked like I was wearing the fucking building. Do you know what I mean? And so I'm walking like this, and I was had a bad day anyway, right? And I could feel these two kids behind me trying to push past me, but because it's so tight, you can't really even turn round. And so I'm walking. I feel these kids pushing past me. I could hear one of them going, and I was like, oh, they're crying. Oh, you're trying to push past me because you're crying and you're embarrassed because you're crying in public. Well, you know what? Sometimes people get embarrassed and sometimes people cry, and you just got to fucking get over that. So what I started doing, because I'm a petty motherfucker.
How old were you at this point?
30. I'm a grown adult. But what I did, because I'm petty, is I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk even more slowly, just so you can learn that you don't push past people just because you're having a bad day and you're fucking crying. So I walked really slowly like this, just to make a point, and then I went into my classroom, and these kids burst past me, and I turned around to look and see exactly who it was, and one of them was having an asthma attack.
Oh my God. Freddy. You know, you're going to be doing teaching anymore. I don't think that's a bad thing.
You've never really enjoyed it, have you? You hate children.
There are bits about it that I really, really like. And to be honest with you, it is the most rewarding and the most fucking infuriating job in the world at the same time. The amount of hours that you have to put in on pointless shit is fucking insane. Every teacher does like 50, 60-hour weeks. It's fucking bollocks. And it's most of the time, it's not even on stuff that like... that matters. Do you know what I mean?
Just the curriculum. You got to tick all the boxes.
Yeah. So here's the thing, right? You can't just fucking rock up, or you shouldn't just rock up and be like, all right, okay, we're going to learn about Of Mice and Men. So here's some fucking Of Mice and Men books, and I'm going to read Mice and Men, and that's going to be a fucking hour. Do you know what I mean? Like, what should happen is every lesson should have a starter. Every lesson should have something called a plenary at the end, which checks for knowledge and learning and shit like that. But your plenary can't be, oh, John, what's the name of fucking Lenny's friend? Oh, you know, you, what's this, what's that? Because you've only checked the learning of 3 people. It has to be an exercise that checks the learning of 30 kids within 5 or 10 minutes, which is fucking impossible if you think about it as it is. But there's also shit like differentiation and stuff like that. Within a classroom of 30-odd children, they're all going to have different problems. You're going to have some who are more clever. You're going to have some who are a bit fucking stupider. You might have 1 or 2 that are dyslexic. You might have some that have some personal issues going on. And every lesson has to be cultivated and managed around all those fucking things.
Oh, God.
It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
The spannery kids at school. It's just like, how are you here?
Oh, sometimes.
How are you here, kid? You're only just in.
Were you in like a higher set?
I was in higher sets for some things, middle sets for others. I don't think I was in the bottom set for anything.
So if you've never taught bottom set before,
but bottom set is
so fucking.
Hang on, let's just check. Have you ever taught bottom set before?
Let me just check.
If you've never.
I think honestly, doing this podcast with Adam might count as about 40% of that.
I was in top set for everything, so you can suck your mum.
Even
Really?
RE.
Yeah,
We were both in top set for everything, the entirety of school.
Yeah.
I play the card.
But-
I'm actually very intelligent.
Yeah.
But,
How long were the
Foursquared is
lessons?
16.
But some top sets in some schools are like middle sets in other schools.
Yeah.
So it's not really like all top sets are the same.
Mate, Adam
But-
never misses an opportunity to tell us how intelligent he was at school. Don't take it personally. That's been a literally a year long of like, I did very well at school.
Do you know what's
And I went on a chess competition and won that.
do you know what's brilliant though is if you teach bottom set,
It's true though, you do.
they are so
You
fucking.
fucking
Disrespecting me
remember.
on my podcast.
Yeah.
On our podcast, you are disrespecting.
How's your
co-host.
priest? All right.
If you teach bottom set, they are so docile that they're too thick to be naughty, basically. So they just sit there like, do you know what I mean?
Ours used to get rewarded
You have
for
to,
nothing.
what?
Do you like if there wasn't a fire that week, do you all get mountain bikes?
Yeah, pretty much. Because you have to reward them. Because, right, imagine this, right? So here's the thing, right? Kids know that they're not clever, right? So when you get to about year 8 and you start to go, hang about, why am I in the same set as this fucking idiot? I guess I'm a fucking idiot as well.
That guy's just shit himself and is humming the national anthem.
Exactly.
I think I might need to work harder.
Exactly, right? So you get to a point where you realise that you're not that smart, and there's just nothing that you can really do about it. It's not like you can get more brain, is there? You just fucking have to deal with that shit. So you have to constantly be like encouraging them, and that's why like every little thing you're like, oh, well done. Because otherwise you just never fucking get anything done.
I remember PE with some of the slightly spannery kids. We had a swimming baths at our school.
Yeah, we did as well.
And that, you know, when you're
Someone
like,
shitting it once.
you know, we've talked about it before. You know, when you're taking the mickey, when you've been around them for so long, watching some of them lads swim was like so. Like in theory, like a lot of like, God, he's a bit thick and makes things hard work. And then you see them swim, and we were an all boys school. We were fucking animals, but still, everyone after a couple of years of watching them swim was like, yeah, it's not funny anymore. As you're watching someone be like, there's fucking floats flying everywhere, and you can see a PE teacher going, "What am I doing with my actual life?" Like, put your head under the water.
They have no motor skills. It's like dropping a cat in a river. They're just fucking like that.
How did you get to school if you're that scared of a metre and a half of water?
Did they have to swim to school? Did your school have a moat?
One of ours pooed in the pool.
One of ours did poo in the pool. Yeah.
Pooed in the pool.
His name was Yusuf, and he pooed in the pool.
Yusuf? What year did Yusuf poo in the pool?
10. 9, 10.
Yeah.
Please tell me you called him Poosif.
We didn't call him anything because he had Down syndrome, Freddy.
Yeah.
He had Down syndrome and he shot in the pool.
Yeah.
Not his fun story anymore.
Did he get told? He got told off, surely, didn't he?
No.
He celebrated it.
Yeah.
Celebrating it.
Dance.
He got a fucking...
Got a certificate at the end of
Got a mountain bike.
the end of the assembly.
got 2 mountain bikes.
10 metres and 1 turd.
By the way, when I say spannery, I just mean a bit thick.
Oh, no, we do too.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
There was no one with Down syndrome. If anyone's like, Dan's being a real prick about swimming with Down syndrome, I'm defo not.
To be
Our
fair,
kids were just thick and a bit dyspraxic.
But here's the thing. Here's a genuine thing, right? Imagine that you're in a set for school and you know that the set is based on ability and you're a kid with no disabilities and then you look to your left and there's a kid with Down syndrome and you're like, I'm the same as that. That's shit. Do you know what I mean? And like, it's like at least they've got an excuse. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I'm like, fuck, I'm just thick. So they know, they do pick up on it. I was teaching once, I was teaching Shakespeare, right? We were doing like Romeo and Juliet or some shit like that. And the thing is you don't just jump into Romeo and Juliet. What you do is you do a week on Shakespeare and Shakespeare's life and the Globe. And then you do a week on the fucking time that he lived in and stuff like that and the Tudor time or whatever the fuck it was. And then you do like a week and you build it really, really gradually and really slowly. That I was about 4 weeks in. We were literally at the end of Act 1 with the bottom set. We're going really fucking slow. And a kid puts his hand up and I'm like, yes. And he goes, sir? And I went, yeah. And he goes, was Shakespeare real? Oh. And I went, he was, yeah. And he went, oh. And that was it. That was it.
Could you imagine if he asked the question, you went, fuck this.
But there was a minute. I wonder how long he'd been sitting on that question. He thought we did a week on Shakespeare's life. What was he thinking? That I was just making facts up about a random person that did
fan fiction. I like to think he grew up in England.
Yeah, can't you do that? Can't you go back once and just TikTok you just losing your shit?
Go back for one more day in a school
and just say
and just burn the place that, not literally, but just like film all your classes and just go fucking mental at some kid. You stupid fucking cunt! Of course he's real!
Quinne.
What have you been doing for the past 6 weeks? You thick wood-headed fuck!
Wood-headed!
Please do that, Fred.
Well, the thing is I honestly, it doesn't bother me that they're thick. And it doesn't bother me that they don't try.
Yeah, but content is king.
It's just all the other shit that goes along with teaching, all the fucking meetings and stuff, man. And
Go viral with that, though,
It's
lad.
so much easier being a comic, innit? Just like write some bits, tell some stories, learn them, get good at them, do a bit of driving, bit of a ball ache. Some promoters are knobs, some comics are hard work, but you just get to do your own thing.
Well,
I watch people in bands and think, that looks like a fucking ball ache. Rehearsals, instruments.
Carrying your own amp.
Just a fucking nightmare. And then someone's guitar's out of tune or whatever. And then all these jobs just seem so hard. And I'm just like, come on, comedy, come back.
Well,
it's so easy just
you know what I've
talking.
been fucking doing recently, don't you? So they've shut the schools at the moment and they're not opening anytime soon. So it's like, I'm not going back there. So I have been doing part-time delivery driver for Iceland.
Hang on.
Mama like that. Mama like that.
Tell a story.
And well, there's no story to it, but there is a moment in your life. There is a moment.
He's playing our tune. Can you hear it?
Oh, right. But there is a moment where you go, a year ago, I was a professional comedian doing my dream job.
Oh, I'm
Now,
going to put it loud.
I'm at fucking Iceland. I'm at Iceland part-time.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fucking dreadful.
Carlisle! All is forgiven! And it's up there.
What would you give for that 100 quid in Grimsby now?
Oh, it's 10 hours work at fucking at Iceland.
Is it a 10 an hour?
What? Less than that, £9.69.
$9.69.
Do you think
An
promoters are ever going to pay decent wedge ever again? Like, even in like 5 years, it's 2026, and people will be on the forums, comedians will be like, bloody hell, it really should be more than 120 to close the fuck chuckle hut in Hull. And the promoters are going to be like, wow, you're whinging about the fees, are you?
So
I remember back in 2021 when you were working at fucking Iceland.
There's a comedian that we both know, whose name I'm not going to say, but they put
Hold
a
them up.
post on Facebook a little while ago where they were like, guys, I have just been offered a gig for a corporate Zoom gig, and it's £400, and I'm not going to do it because I just feel like it should be more money than that. But I won't judge you if you take it. But I'm just letting you know that I feel like, we have to have standards in our industry. And it's like, are you you're switching your fucking webcam on and talking for 20 minutes? 400 quid.
I mean, by the way, if you're thinking, God, comedy can't be in a bad way, there's not a lot of those gigs knocking
There's
about.
not a lot of
Most
those
of them
gigs.
are like 25, 50 quid on Zoom at the moment.
I did one of them yesterday. I did a Zoom corporate yesterday afternoon. And it was the first one. So I did a few in December, as I told you about. This is the first one I did where I couldn't see anyone. This is the first Zoom thing I've done with no front row.
Oh, dreadful, innit?
It was just me. So it was on Zoom, so you can see all their names in their little black boxes. Not one face for 25 minutes. And just had to keep talking and tell me face I was smashing it, even though I was hating it.
Did you laugh at any point? Because
Yeah.
I've done a Zoom gig. I think it's the Kiri's one, the
COVID arms. Yeah.
where the only person you can hear is Kiri, and she's in a small box. And she's like distracted because she's comparing the show. She's like, it works like this. And you get to the end of the bit and there's a pause for the laughter in your head. Nothing happens and you go, like, oh my God, I'm filling my own pause for
That's
laughter.
what I did. I'd pause and have a little look down at my little notes of like what next bit I'm doing. And then I'd just go, been losing weight.
Did you ever do any of the driving gigs?
No.
So yes. I did a few.
Yes, I did, Freddy. Thank you.
Oh yeah. well, I did some in December, right? And they were like, guys, we encourage you, guys and girls and people in cars. We encourage you that if you find a joke funny, we want you to honk those horns. We want you to flash those lights. It's gonna be great. Let's try it on 3. That fucking shite. But the thing is like what would happen is that you tell a joke and then they'd laugh and they go, ha, oh, beep, 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 flash, flash, flash. So there's a 5-second delay between them laughing, remembering that they have to do the honking. But you can't fucking time for that.
No. It's impossible.
You tell the joke, and then you go, and then I said cucumber.
And also, yeah,
So anyway,
a honk of a horn the instinct is like, oh.
But-
Like honking horns is very rarely a good thing.
No, never like, smash that roundabout there, kid. Well done.
I like your hair, lad.
But you'd finish your joke, oh, it's a cucumber. And then you'd move on, you go, so I was in the, and then they go, beep, 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 and you'd be like, oh, fuck this. But, you know.
Yeah, I'm not going to do any driving gigs. I've stuck to me guns for nigh on a year now. Of not.
Oh, yeah, I think they're dying on the
only Zoom gigs I've done have been corporates, and I've not done any driving gigs. I'll do those outdoor ones again in the summer if they become a thing again.
They were great.
They were fun.
Yeah.
Still not quite, got
I'm
the...
saying no.
No,
right.
I'm genuinely, I sort of mean that. I think everyone's experience, okay, so we've got the podcast, we've grafted, but we've been lucky. A lot of people are having to graft at real things. And I do think post, pandemic, I really think fees for comedy are going to be in a weird place. I think there's some places that will pay what they used to pay.
Do you know what?
And I think a lot of people will be like, I think we now see the value of gigging for 20 minutes. And I think it's 80 quid.
Do you know what I think they'll
best.
do?
I don't see that happening.
I think what will happen is the opener and middles fees will suffer, but I think the headline fees will get bigger.
You've been saying this.
I've said this for years. Yeah, I think it's going to go to the American model where it's Freddy, Quinne plus support.
But why would that person not go and do a tour show?
So no, well, because everyone's going to take a step down now, I think. So I think that people who would do a tour show would now headline those gigs for 300-400 quid. And I think that people who would not bother touring because they're on TV all the time would now take one down and start to tour a bit more and stuff like that. I think everyone's going to push everyone out.
Happen. I don't know how that works at the Frog or like the Comedia in Brighton. It's a very big shift culturally.
I actually think you're both wrong for now. I think that's going to happen long term. I think in 5-10 years, maybe it'll be slightly accelerated by what's happened. I do think it will go more that way, where venues will be like, look, we need you to put 30 of the bums on. We need you to pay your own fee by getting the people in the door. That's what we need you to do.
Not on a weekend. These aren't weekend. That's
that's what I'm thinking. In not necessarily immediately, but a bit further down the line. Yeah,
I think the independent promoters will be the first to try.
Yeah,
that
model sounds more like a midweeker, doesn't it?
Well, no, a weekend for like independent promoters and shit like that. I think that'll be the first thing to happen, because somewhere like the Frog and Bucket, the Comedy Store, Comedia, Hot Water, Glees, they are their own brand. Do you know what I mean? And people are going to want to go because it's that club.
On a Saturday night, they can do 600 tickets a night.
Whereas if it's comedy night at the fucking,
the Fuck Chuckle Hut.
Yeah, the Fuck Chuckle Hut upstairs in the pub where there's 200 people, or, in the function room of the hotel, gigs, I think that they will start to pay for your, acts with TV credits and profiles.
Pay a bit more. I don't think that's wrong. I think the idea that it's going to be names headlining the Glee, the Comedia, the Store is such a massive shift.
I don't think the Store will ever necessarily go that way, but I think there will be some clubs. I think it's possible at the Glee. I think it's possible at the Frog. I think it's possible at Comedia, where they go, right, the opener in the middle get 120 quid, but the headliner gets 400. I don't think we're that.
Do you know what else technically needs to fuck off as well? It doesn't make any sense for a comedy club or comedy promoter to always pay the same fee to close. That doesn't make any sense.
And if you don't know, there's a weird rule, not rule, but like a tradition in stand-up, that basically a slot at a night is a fee, and if it's found out that other comics are getting paid more than other comics, it doesn't half generate some bad bitching, doesn't it?
Well, actually, when you think about it, it's completely sensible. Because number one, not every comic brings the same thing. There are some comics that are better than others, obviously, but there are some comics who have more profile than others and will bring more, more people and save you money on advertising. So it makes sense that money gets passed on to them, essentially.
Yeah, totally.
But also as well, it's about how well they negotiate. You know, like there's no fucking plumbing comedy forum where every plumber goes leaky tap £50. Do you know? They just fucking charge what they want to charge.
Yeah, but I think it's the idea of a circuit is where that changes. It's not a plumbing circuit. Do you know what I mean? It's a comedy circuit. It works because everyone is willing to do the same thing for the same money. I know what you're saying, and it already does happen when a big name act. If a club wants a big name act, like I book a couple of gigs, sometimes the promoter, the people who promote the gig will go, "Can you get us a name this guy?" I'll go, "You have to give us some more money, and I'll pay a little bit more." And comics don't moan about that, because if I put Russell Kane in Runcorn, then he gets a bit more because he'll sell 50 or 100 of the tickets himself. So he earns that money by being who he is. But if you're just putting another circuit comic on...
if you value different circuit comics against different circuit comics, it is going to get pissy, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's the natural progression of things. Especially now, where there's so many different social media platforms, and we've all got our own little profiles and people who. But I think it'll be a good thing, because I think it will encourage people to cultivate a following, which a lot of comics are so fucking lazy in doing.
And do you know what it's going to take? It's going to take people like the Blairs. It's going to take younger promoters to change the game, because as we know, this industry is run by older guys, and it's very slow paced. If you look at the pace of the rest of the circuit trying to copy what Hot Water have done, no one's managed it. I mean, they've laid out the blueprint of success.
Yeah.
I know there's things like Paul Smith, but the way they've used social media, and the rest of the circuit, like, yeah, we could do some videos, and you're like, it's been painful. It'll be younger promoters changing the rules.
It's been 4 years now since Hot Water opened up, and they put cameras, really high quality cameras, and recorded all of their shows. There are how many clubs that are doing the same thing as Hot Water now,
2 or 3,
as well as Hot Water when they started?
No, none.
Not many. None. So nobody is at the level of Hot Water of 2017.
Yeah.
So that's mental to me.
They've tried.
4 years.
They've tried. They just haven't worked it out.
We work in a fucking oil tanker of an industry that is constantly so slow to fucking react to any change at all.
Well, I'm not saying your theories about where we're going are wrong. I just see it as it'll be so glacial, the movement on it, because they're like, well, we do what they do, and they've always done it the way we do it. Like, the way weekend comedy clubs are set up now is almost identical to when they were set up in the early 90s.
Yeah, there's very little innovation because there's a
lot of copying.
There's an attitude of if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's like it is getting broke, but it's bending. Like, it hasn't gone.
Yeah, it's bowing in the middle.
It's bowing, and eventually it'll just collapse in on itself. But if there was a big problem and the circuit snapped, then everyone would go, oh shit, we need to change it. Because it's bowing, they're going, no, it's just about keeping us up. It's fine. Oh shit, then it's
gone. I can understand weekend comedy clubs. They just want to pay a headliner 180 and not 400. Yeah. It makes it cheaper to not top load a fucking bill.
Yeah.
You know?
I think we need to have a break, because we're an hour and 5 in and we haven't had one yet.
Okay.
Probably a good shout, isn't it?
Let's have a break.
Let's have an advert. What's happening, guys? We are thrilled to announce that this podcast is sponsored by the brilliant team over at bettinggods.com. Now, if you're like me and you like a little bit of a bet on all sorts of sports, from footy to horse racing, cricket, hockey, tennis, anything like that, the people at bettinggods.com are the number one tipster site as far as we're concerned. The sponsor in the pod. If you're into your betting, head over to bettinggods.com right now. Get yourself some tips, and they'll help you bag some winners. Let's get back to the pod. Hey!
Welcome back to the final section of episode 104. 104 with Frederick Quinne, Adamski Rowe, and me. It's been an absolute pleasure so far.
It really creeps me out when you talk like this, and you know it does.
Does it?
It does.
I really wish you were wearing headphones right now, because it makes it a lot worse.
No, don't like it. You sound creepy. You sound like you're going to do something to my daughter, and I don't like it.
Well, you haven't got a daughter.
Yeah, my future daughter.
Wow, things are moving quick in this relationship, aren't they? Woo! Beer pong one night, fucking prego the next. Freddy, Carl loves giving Adam shit about that. Would you like to have a word with some people? Would you like to do some would you rathers?
Let's do all of the things. I'm here
You want
now.
to do all of the
I want to
things?
do everything. I want to do everything that you've got. Let's clear out your inbox.
Would you rather, Sapning, Grandad, Dave, Rowie Bag, Sensei and Finn, would you rather only wash your hair twice a year or only be able to check your phone once a day? This includes just glancing at the time or a random notification. If a day is too easy, how about, no, I reckon, no, a day. You're right, mate. A day. So, washing your hair twice a year or checking your phone once a day?
How long-
I'm looking at you
Okay.
because you A, have hair, and B, love that phone.
Okay, so a couple of questions I need you. I know they're not being added.
Caveats, sir.
Yeah. So if someone rings me, does that count? If you
No,
call,
you can use it as a telephone.
okay.
You
And-
can't be like, you can phone me once a day, but
And can I text? If you text me,
so you can use it as for messaging, and you can use it to call people.
but all my other apps are locked
All
off.
the apps, all the social media. It's
I-
a 1 a day check.
I'm fine with that then. Absolutely. And like, I don't think I'd necessarily.
What?
I don't think I'd find it easy. But like, for someone to say you can't do it, that's what I need. I need someone to lock me off from it. I can't wash these
we
luscious
started
locks
recording,
twice a year.
Adam was watching a video. We were already went 40 seconds,
Yeah.
and I nearly flicked his phone out of his fucking hand.
Listen. Look, I'm addicted to my phone, but having that restriction would help me. I can't wash these luscious locks twice a year. These get greasy in like a
Your
day.
hair's been on strong form recently.
And I need to keep it up. I wash my hair every day. You're not meant to.
Can you know when it says you can only wash your hair twice a year,
Yeah.
can you wash your body, but just not your hair? So put like a little hairnet on and then wash your body.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're allowed to
yeah.
shower. It's not. Your hair has to stay unwashed. So by week 3 it
But
gets really
there are
fucking.
there are people who don't wash their hair. It's like a well-known method of hair care.
Vegan, hippie,
to-
gobshite cunts who stink of shit and live in fields.
No. It's quite popular to use dry shampoo and shit like that, and like
Dry shampoo's still washing your hair.
No, it's
Well,
not
it's
really.
not though,
is
is it?
It's not really.
What is it then?
It's just that's
Okay.
like saying using gel is washing your hair, isn't it? Dry shampoo.
It's like
dry
when-
shampoo's just like a product. It's not.
Which is used to clean your hair.
It's like if your
Not,
missus
it
says,
doesn't wash your hair.
It's
though,
to make
does
it look like you've cleaned your hair.
Yeah.
yeah, it's
What
it's-
you've done is heard shampoo and gone, yeah, it's like shampoo. It's just a fucking spray that zhuzhes you up a bit.
It's like
I don't know what the fuck I'm on about. As I said zhuzh, I was like,
like
you
that.
are the baldest cunt in the Northwest.
This is quite easy for you two, isn't it? Because you two are
Oh,
fucking...
yeah, it's not for me.
well,
What, your beard?
yeah.
Do you wash that?
Yes.
Are you mad?
It doesn't look like you do. It doesn't though, does it? If I told you we'd never wash that, would you be surprised?
Can I honestly, Freddy looks like a man. Hang on, let me just word this.
Just leave it there.
Who could stink a bit. But can I just say, he really doesn't. He is one of the better smelling comics knocking about.
Yeah.
But he looks... he looks...
And just to clarify, this was you choosing your words carefully.
You look like you could
You
stink.
look like you could stink.
That's a compliment.
But
You
look-
don't stink.
Mate, come on. You know what I mean. You look like you... Do you know what I mean?
Get out that.
Mine is always the last bus seat to be fucking sat on next to me. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, God.
That's more of a space issue, though, isn't it?
Yeah, she can't be asked having one cheek in the aisle.
How often do you wash your muzzy, your beard?
My beard daily.
Daily.
Yeah, well, when you say wash it, I run water through it to wash it. I don't fucking,
All right,
I
sorry.
don't fucking
When
like.
do you use shampoo?
Yeah, when do I use shampoo? I use shampoo whenever I have a shower. So yeah, daily.
On your beard.
Yes.
Full Father Christmas here.
Where are you going headwise here? You're sort of flirting with the baldacious, aren't you? But
So I would be shaved now, but
You need
lockdown
to commit to that and make it look like you decided.
Yeah, but it's locked down, isn't it? So I can't fucking get rid of it. Usually I'm a number one guy.
Why don't
So-
you just get a bic?
No, I don't like that.
don't go too shiny. Just clip it number one.
Yeah,
You
that's
must
what I
say.
usually do, but there's no barbers, is there?
Why don't
Yeah.
you just do it yourself?
Because I have a head trimmer, but it's in my old flat that's flooded, and I just can't justify buying a new one. So I just haven't yet.
I love how frugal you are. It really makes me laugh.
Oh,
I love talking money with Freddy because it goes from me being the older guy to feeling like the fucking young guy instantly. As soon as we're talking about money and Freddy's like, well, I think it'd be sensible to do this and this. And I'm like, yeah, I've just bought a drill with some money. I think you're so much more switched on with money stuff than I ever was.
The thing is I spent many years of my life as a degenerate gambler with absolute no money at all, and so now I've gone the other way. So I was massively addicted to gambling, especially in my early 20s.
You're more addicted to gambling than drinking, and you're quite addicted to drinking, aren't you? Because you love a bevy, but I remember we went Chester races, and you didn't even have a drink all day because you wanted to gamble more than you wanted to drink.
Yeah, 100%.
That's so good. That's like when I used to go clubbing and people are like, well, I'm not having a beer because I want to do drugs. That's like commitment.
If someone said to me, you can either never drink or never gamble again, I'd probably never drink again. Generally,
Really?
I love gambling. I love it.
So you were a degenerate gambler.
And now I'm a responsible gambler. So...
Adverts for gambling are really fun at the moment, aren't they? Like, we can get great odds, but obviously don't fuck up your life, and we'll put limits on how much you can spend because it's really dangerous. But come on, sign up for a membership.
Do you know what I'm really fucking sick of? The gambling adverts where it looks like we're all mates. Do you know what I mean? Those adverts. Meet the thinker. He's working out all the odds. It's like fuck off.
Yeah. Like it's Ocean's 8. And
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Not some sad wanker in his
I
mum's
bet
spare
both
room.
teams to score because they have an average of 7 shots on target. My
favourite.
Meet gut shot. Oh, I just fucking think this. Oh, fuck off.
I bet like an alcoholic auntie. Like I really do. Like I'm talking about horses. I like the uniforms and the names.
I like your mum on National Day.
Yeah. That's how I bet. And I ended by the time I got home on the day we went to Chester races. I exactly broke even, and that included getting hammered all day and a massive Indian and taxis home and stuff.
Which is basically winning, isn't it?
Yeah. It was really, really good. But like it was doing Freddy's head in because he had a form book and everything. He's like, actually, I think you need to go for.
Of course, you need a form book. Why would you not have a form book?
But you were
You're
figuring
such
it
an
all
old
out,
man,
and
Freddy. I
every
love
race
it.
by.
What?
You're such an old man.
No, but
I wish I had a spare pipe.
But did
for
you
right
win,
now.
Fred?
No, he didn't. He
So
lost.
what's the
No, I
very-
won. No, I won. I won over 200 quid.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. And I'll tell you exactly what horse turned it around for me. It was Sir Dragonet.
Oh yeah, you won right at the end. You were having a
No, I
miserable
was
day
on
for
the
a while.
fourth or
though.
fifth race. Sir
Yeah.
Dragonet won at 10-1. And I had 20 or 30 quid on it.
Yeah.
And that horse I've bet on since, and it's a fucking beast. But
yeah?
the yard that the horse is from very rarely put in a horse with like no fucking
Yeah.
Like if they were putting something in, it means something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Freddie,
it means
keep
it's a good
talking
horse.
sexy for the ladies listening.
Mama like that. Mama
Tell me about that stable. Ladies, get some
I-
kitchen roll. You're going to be pretty damn now.
I love it though. I will bet on fucking anything. I will football, tennis, horse racing, boxing, UFC. Even though I don't really like it, I'll bet on fucking anything.
Yeah, I'll bet on the UFC tomorrow because I'm watching it.
Have you
Because it
got a
just adds a bit
tipster?
of interest to it.
Have you got a tipster?
What? Sorry.
Have you got a tipster?
Have I got a tipster?
Yeah, like, do you go anywhere for your tips?
So there's a really good place that you can go called OLBG.
No.
I know
I
a
think you
better
need
one.
to try bettinggods.co.uk.
Yeah, I think what
who
Freddie
kindly
would say
sponsor
is
this podcast.
bettinggods.com for all your tips.
So I know the guy from Betting Gods personally, and he wanted me to do some stuff where we were going to go to horse racing meets, and we were going to go to football matches and stuff, and we were going to like do video bets and stuff like that.
Fucking COVID.
Well, this is exactly it. This is exactly. But I was going to go Haydock with him at the end of.
Yeah, they're one of our sponsors now. Very kindly so.
Oh, nice.
3-month sponsorship deal with.
Yeah, we
Betting
didn't
Gods.
quite understand what they were at first, but now we've got it worked out.
Well, I get all the I get all their emails and through because the guy signed me up for free anyway for lols.
That's so funny. So because did you waste a lot of money when you were young?
Oh, I spunked everything away. So it started when I was at college. Did you go Newman?
Yep.
So you'll know that opposite Newman there was that Ladbrokes.
Yep.
I literally spent about 30% of my time at college in that Ladbrokes.
And that's a Ladbrokes, not in the middle of Preston, in the middle of Avonham, which is one of the roughest bits of
I'll
Preston.
tell you how much time I spent in bookies. You know the fixed odds betting terminals where they have roulette and stuff? I could look at the animation and instantly tell you what number it was going to be. There was no point even looking. I'd go, 22, like that. Because I'd know the recording from it. I'd recognise the recording. I gambled that much.
Bookies are grim places, aren't they? Like, I don't mind, but the people who bet online and everything, but actually going in the bookies.
I prefer going in the bookies than betting online. Like if Boxing Day is all, I've told you this before, that's when I bet more than any other day. Because I go to the pub at like 11 in the morning with my mates from school and we just bet on all the footy. Because I enjoy watching footy when it's not Liverpool anyway, but I really enjoy it if I've got a bet on it. So if Leicester are playing at Tottenham and I've got Vardy first goal 3-1, that keeps me invested in the game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
And I don't bet to win, I bet for fun. So I don't care when they lose because it's such innocuous bets, a couple of quid, 3 quid, whatever.
That's good betting though, because you were watching it anyway. And you're just using betting to make it more interesting.
Yeah, that's all I use it for.
I bet specifically to win.
So you bet to bet.
Yeah, totally. But I will. So the thing is I've reined it in a lot because I could get myself to a point where I would bet on literally fucking anything. Like,
what's the weirdest thing you've bet on?
What's the weirdest thing I've bet on? Let's see. The weirdest thing I've bet on.
Sport-wise.
Oh,
what, have you bet on other things?
Have you bet on, like, women's...
Oh, yeah, like women's Paraguayan fucking second division.
You couldn't think of a sport. Think of a weird sport you'd bet on. Women's. One of them. One of them fucking bullshit.
He gave himself a really wide berth with women's because he knew that anything he picked was going to be bullshit. That's the way he worked.
Sorry.
Adam, you sexist fucker.
That was so funny.
Women's.
You were like, women's, and then you started looking around like, volleyball?
I think that's just volleyball, isn't it?
Oh, God.
Women's paragliding.
Women's paragliding.
So competitive.
Women's. Think of us, but ironing. No, I didn't mean ironing. Women's.
I would 100% bet on women's paragliding.
What about women's base jumping?
Oh yeah, 100%. Like live or die.
Is this?
Black or red.
Yeah. Oh, she's disabled. Does that mean I get an early payout? She broke both her legs on the landing. Does that mean they pay me out? Oh, cockfighting. I bet on cockfighting in Asia.
Mate, we're from the same place. I we're from Penwitham in Preston.
Yeah.
And you're like, I bet on cockfighting. Catholics do it a little bit differently. We drink the blood of Christ and we bet on cocks.
There's also
You bet on Asian cockfighting?
Yeah.
Did you win?
No.
Right, here's my question, right? Because you stated, I'm just going to lawyer this up a second. For the record,
Yeah.
you
Your
stated on the record, like moments ago, that you only bet to win. So what information did you have to pick a cock?
Freddy's in Southeast Asia like, hey, mister. We got great form on this cock.
Well, on that occasion,
Which one you want?
but I didn't.
This one's 7, I know. This one 3, I know. But
even
got
though-
bigger thighs.
Even though I didn't have any information on it, I was still betting to win. I wasn't betting to have a lovely time. I was betting so that I could win money. Like, that was the end
I
goal.
bet to win
I mean,
money.
if you're betting on cockfighting, you're definitely only betting to win, aren't you?
Yeah,
Exactly.
P.S. If you're at a cockfight, you might as well have a flood.
Yeah.
I love going cockfights
Actually,
in
if
Ho Chi Minh
anything,
City.
if you don't bet, then it's weirder because that means you're just going there to watch.
I love the sport.
Was this when you were in Asia?
Yeah.
Okay, so this wasn't on like Sky Bet.
No. I also wanted.
Ray Winston, hello. That cock's got a bit of fucking pluck, ain't it?
I also wanted to bet on like you can bet on fights over there. So you can bet on they'll do like fucking MMA fights,
Muay Thai and
Muay
stuff.
Thai and shit like that. I also wanted to bet on, but I couldn't find one. There is a thing where what they will do is they'll do greyhound racing in Asia. It's really popular. But what they do is they have a little monkey.
I'm so sure I know the joke in your head. Go on.
They have a monkey that they sew to the back of the greyhound as like a little pretend jockey. And so they and the monkey doesn't do anything. The monkey's just fucking terrified, but it just looks funny.
A real monkey?
Yeah, a real monkey. Check out Google Greyhound monkey racing.
Right, okay.
So I wanted to find one of those, but I couldn't.
So you went to a cockfight. You
brutal.
were there.
Yeah.
And you seen it.
Yeah.
And you didn't win.
No.
Was there only 2 cocks in the fight?
What, sorry?
Or was it like a Royal Rumble?
What a Royal Rumble! What, they announce someone new every 30 seconds? Stone Cold Steve Coxton.
The cock.
Come on, Fred.
It's a cock bottom!
Stone Cold Steve Cox.
Triple cock.
Racing for peanuts, greyhound monkey racing.
Yeah, and
Where was this, by the way?
Thailand.
Thailand.
The monkeys themselves are not integral to the race. It just looks funny.
Yeah.
They're good.
But they've sewn them into the jacket, so that the actual jacket has little armholes, and they literally just like tie them up in there. It's dead funny because the monkey's like, "What is going on here?"
I'm gonna put
This
this
is-
Yeah, that's exactly what the monkey said.
this isn't how I saw my
Bloody
day.
hell. I've been sewn onto a fucking dog again. It's a weirdly Lancashire monkey in fucking Thailand. Why the fuck did I come to Phuket? Bastard. Oh, yeah.
In Thailand.
Yep.
Did you get stared at a lot?
Not so much in Thailand, but loads in Indonesia, particularly Jakarta.
What? Thailand, they've got more Westerners knocking
Well,
about.
Freddy looks like a lot of their patrons who are looking for a wife.
Oh, did I tell you about the time in Bali when someone offered me sex with a child?
No, didn't see that TikTok either.
Right. Okay, so...
Why are all your stories sad? Monkey sewn into jacket. Child prostitution.
So
I don't want to do teaching no more.
So basically, in Thailand you didn't really get stared at. In Jakarta, I definitely did because nobody looks remotely like me over there. They're all about half my size. None of them are as broad as I am. None of them have beards. And none of them have tattoos. Exactly. So they look at me, but they're not looking at me out of like they're looking at me the same way you would look at someone who had like a horrific birthmark. Do you know what I mean? Like out the corner of your eye. What the fuck is that type thing?
We just weirdly, we talked about it last week on the pod. My mate Sean was in Korea and people would just come up to him and take a picture and go, Brad Pitt. You're like, Brad Pitt.
Really?
And it just because they'd seen so few tall.
I don't think that happened to him.
Oh, Jonah Hill!
Moneyball! Just weird Indonesian kids just getting on your knee.
Oh, Brad Pitt! What went wrong?
Little fucking street vendors coming home to their wives. I was work today. I served Henry VIII.
I saw Santa.
So anyway, right, I was in Bali, and the thing is, Bali's such an amazing place, by the way. But I was in Bali, and what would happen is a lot of people, a lot of times, would ask me whether or not I wanted a prostitute. So people would come up to me and go, "Oh, you want lady? Oh, yes, you
have
do.
my interest, sir.
You want lady?" And I would go, "No," because I'd no. And they would go, "Oh," like that. And some of them would go, I know. You want child? Like that. And they'd do that. And I'd go, "No." And they'd look at me like, "You do." Do you know, like they'd look at me as if to say, "Well, if you're not keen, then the market's gone on it." Do you know what I mean?
This guy
we
not
might as well
pedo.
just let him go now, quite frankly, because if this guy isn't fucking interested,
I would love
Imagine
it.
the conversation with his mates like, he's not a pedo.
I would love it if he just kept guessing what you wanted to fuck.
oh,
You want otter?
smaller and smaller.
You want kimono dragon?
Kimono.
Did you just call it a kimono dragon? A kimono dragon? You fucking idiot. A kimono dragon? A dragon in a silky little dressing gown?
She fucking wants it, that one. that dragon's a right slut.
Oh, that's
Why
so
didn't you-
funny.
I love it how you went from otter to kimono dragon.
Kimono dragon. They're fucking big, them. You wouldn't fuck them.
A Komodo dragon?
Yeah, you would not fuck a Komodo dragon.
What's
No
the,
chance.
what's the
Should be
biggest
allowed.
animal
Wouldn't
you'd
steal
fuck?
a car.
Right, so I've spoken.
You wouldn't steal a car. You wouldn't steal a handbag. You wouldn't fuck a Komodo dragon.
That should be the advert.
Even if she wants it.
So I've had many conversations about if you had to fuck what animal,
the biggest
what animal
animal
you'd
you'd fuck?
fuck, right? So my feeling is that it has to be size is important because you don't want it to be too big and you don't want it to be too small because you'd literally rip it apart with your dick. So it has to be a certain size. So I think it has to be between
Lower. I've literally got a gerbil looking at me going, I can take it, big boy. You ain't ripping shit. I've got field mouse going, get me a bit of lube.
I think
about
it has to be size-wise between a dog and a cat, but it can't be a dog or a cat because you don't want it to be like every time you see a dog, you don't want to be like, oh, I fucked a dog, haven't
You
I?
want to be thinking goat size.
Yeah. So I thought sloth was my animal.
Have you seen how scary they are?
Oh, no.
What?
Do you know how scary that animal is?
Oh, I don't.
A sloth?
Yeah.
They're dead slow, though.
I don't think people understand how fucking terrifying sloths are.
Cute.
They're not.
They are.
They've got claws about this long and they crawl
Yeah.
along the floor once a week. They're not.
Dead
Do that face
slowly,
into the
though.
camera.
Honestly,
Freddy would be finished for an hour and a half before the sloth even said no.
Google sloth now
Well,
if you're watching.
In
and
my fantasy, what I'd do is I'd have the sloth gripping onto my forearm like a branch, and then I'd just sort of like pump myself onto it, and that'd be done.
Wow. Wow.
I think
In
I
your
go.
fantasy.
I think you want to go really big and lazy.
Well, like an elephant.
Yeah.
You know, 'cause they never forget, do they?
Yeah, but they wouldn't even feel your dick.
No, but think of the danger involved in fucking an elephant. Think of the danger involved. Imagine
We
right
are,
now.
we are
there's
literally
a-
doing the Patreon bit that we did on Monday, though, aren't we?
Yeah.
Like everyone that listens to Patreon is going, guys, you've literally did this bit
we
on
do
Monday.
this?
Yeah, fucking
Oh
buffalo.
my God, how bad is your memory? We did this on Monday.
Dan used to have a bit about it.
We did
yeah.
the bestiality bit. Like, there's a certain size where you should just be like, fair fucks. Like,
Yeah, it
if
shouldn't
you're
count as a crime anymore.
if you want to fuck a rhino, there should be no laws against it. Because if you're stupid enough to try and you get away with it, then fair fucks to you.
Yeah, I
You
think
can't rape a rhino. If you fucking a rhino, it wanted it.
I think the same about like old women that give the money away and shit like that. Like I think like if you're stupid enough to lose your money, then that's just like you just gotta fucking lose your money.
Freddie, how
Did you just equate shagging a rhino to robbing a pensioner?
I might have, yeah.
1 for 1 on the analogies today? 1 for 1. That's 1 for Adam, 1 for Fred. How on earth did we get to that from the where we were in that question? Washing hair twice a week. Let me tell you about Jakarta.
Have you seen that? I've seen that couple who've lost 775 grand and they're not getting it back from the bank.
Yeah,
Not
but
putting
they.
it aside.
So Barclays have taken them to court because they were like, but Barclays, you should safeguard us. We gave our money. Someone rang them from Saudi Arabia going, your account has been hacked and it's really bad. So what you're going to need to do is put, how much have you got in there? 700 grand. You need to put 250 grand in this account and they were thick enough to keep going. They even went into Barclays and answered all the safeguarding questions. And the last one, where they transferred 350 grand, the guy in Saudi Arabia was on a fucking speakerphone listening to what was going on. And they still were like, yeah, we did it. And Barclays have gone, I'm sorry, if we give you all the checkpoints to do not do these things, and we're asking you the questions, and you're thick enough to let someone manipulate you that much, it's your fault. There's only so many safeguards they can put in, and they're like, "But we didn't know."
I think the exception is people who are not sound of mind. Then I think it's harsh.
It's 60 odd.
But the ones who are just thick and naive and think they know better, I genuinely think that most fraud is like, if you can get away with it, then fucking fair fucks to you.
This is a different one. This is a young couple who got done in a cyber scam, but
Oh, sorry.
it's very similar though.
Right.
But this one, they received an email from a. They only noticed it was fake when they noticed the email was .corn, not .com.
Popcorn!
Because the R and the N make a com. That's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
M, don't they?
Yeah.
By the way, I think there's a special place in a hell I don't believe in, but for people who rip off pensioners of their savings
It's happening.
Yeah.
by
so
like
much.
scamming them about roofing stuff. Like,
Oh, yeah, that's
I
bullshit.
honestly think there should be.
But-
I think they should be forced to try and fuck a rhino.
Depends though. Like if that old woman's got no family, then what does she need that money for?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
No,
Give it to Hormone.
it's just all he's done is gone. Dan's gone one way. I'll go this way.
No, but like, do you know what I mean? If she's got no children or grandchildren to pass that on to, she's gonna die anyway. She's gonna end up leaving it to the cat's home. Cats don't need it. I could use that to have a fucking good night.
How would you scam
Right.
an old person?
How would I scam an old person? Hey, give us all your money. I'll double it.
How are you double it? How are you double my money?
I've got a system at the stock exchange.
Okay, well, I am retired now, but I spent 25 years at the stock exchange. I'm really interested in these systems, though. Please explain.
Do you know anyone old who didn't do that job? And where do they live?
Shall we do a have a word? Should we fix someone's problem?
Want to do a have a word?
I feel like we've tried to get some have a words out recently and not been doing a good job. Have a word from Anonymous. All right, Darren and Adrian Urgent. Oh, sorry. I thought someone was calling me Adrian Urgent. All right, Darren and Adrian, Urgent one here. I'd like you to have a word with me. Been at uni now since September and have managed to catch feelings for a roommate. For context, she's a straight 10 and I'm a 6.5 on a good day.
Why did you shake your head there, Carl, at the start of the
right.
story? You shook your head like, silly boy.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's just a bad place to be in, isn't it?
Can we just finish it before we start
I
passing
feel
judgment?
like
Paul-
6.5 out of 10 can't fully comprehend what a 10 is.
Yeah.
Oh, no. She's
know
a
what I mean?
7.8 with
Oh,
good
yeah, yeah.
lighting. And
He thinks that she's a 10 because he's a 6.5. But
And
an
also-
actual 10, you can only be at least an 8.5 to properly and correctly classify a 10.
And P.S. Anyone who calls himself a 6.5 is probably a 4. Because what 6.5 is like, I don't look great, but I'm sure I'm fine. And my mum told me I was attractive. Like,
Once
don't
you
get
bring
me
in
wrong.
the decimal system
Yeah.
in, like that's when you're getting ropey in it.
I
So
get it.
What it
Like,
is
I'm not
already
oil
is
painting.
he's put her on a pedestal as this 10 out of 10, but actually she probably won't be. And she'll
But
probably...
she's just well more attractive than
she'll-
him.
I think
right.
he's saying, I am okay, but she is
Well,
hot.
what I'm gonna
So
call-
somehow, can we,
Okay.
do you want to know a full story? Somehow we've been shagging a fair bit, but it's nothing more than sex. But obviously I need to get over it. Any advice, as I know you were dirty slags back in the day? Yeah, we're all
Okay.
changed now. We're all
First of all,
connected now.
before we answer the question, I just want to know, what do you think you are on a scale from 1 to 10?
Oh my
What
God.
do I think
Like,
I
if you
am?
had to classify yourself, he's a 6.5 according to him. What would you give yourself?
But are we all on the same scale?
Yeah,
Like you're saying Margot Robbie's the same 10 as the lady outside.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
people
yeah,
outside
yeah.
are like 4s then.
Can I be on a seniors tour? You know, like there's golf for young men, and then there's the seniors tour where like, listen, he's had both his hips replaced, but he can still drive off from the fucking
No, but that's
tee.
part of that's taken into context, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
George Clooney is
On the
still
scale.
a 9, isn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even though he's old.
So that
'Cause
means
he's-
we can't be more than 5s then.
Why?
No,
George
no. You've just, it's objective, innit? You're a good-looking lad. You've got youth on George. He's old. You know, you're younger. Why am I trying to?
You've got fresh meat.
Your hair looks good on the 3rd or 4th Instagram story. Call
Yeah.
back.
What would you think you are?
I would probably say in terms of looks, maybe a 3.5.
Oh,
You can't have a personality measure.
What? So, in terms of looks, so what would be other?
Well, what I do to make up for that is I'm quite good at manipulating women. So what I will do is sort of like... I will take and find a 6, and through actions and words, I will make that 6 think that she's a 4.
You horrible cunt.
What? Every
Hey, he's not horrible. He's resourceful.
exactly every predator has to fucking be able to catch.
Why
you know
would
what
you
I mean?
call yourself in the modern climate that we live in 2021 with Twitter working with you on it? Would you be like, as a predator, as a predator?
I mean more like in terms of from an animal perspective.
Yeah.
I realise I've probably just cancelled myself, haven't I?
The thing is about gaslighting as a predator. I mean, yeah, it's unethical, but I'm fucking good at it.
That isn't even the worst thing that's been said on this episode. Never mind in general.
Jesus,
Okay,
that
so
was
if Fred's
fun.
a 3, Adam, what are you?
I think I'm like 8.2.
Yeah. I think he's been pretty fair there, hasn't he?
You said George Clooney was a 9.
Yeah, well, exactly. 0.8.
Yeah.
0.8 off.
What's Dan then?
0.8 for his money.
If Fred's a 3, you're at 8.2.
Oh,
What's Dan?
right now, I'm
8.3.
probably in and around 3.5. I've had a bad one.
What do you think you are?
Oh, 2004 though. Ooh, I
Out
was
of 10?
pushing late 7s, early 8s. Beautiful man-child. Like Mowgli.
You're obsessed with Mowgli, aren't you?
Yeah, you'd shag Mowgli.
I'd love to look like Mowgli. Little fucking Indian hipster. What?
That's not what he
Reckon he knew Mother Teresa?
Oh yeah, they went
What is this person's problem? Because
Freddy's getting the pod back on track.
because from what I read, he is a 6.5 and he's shagging a 10. And that was the end of the email.
Has he?
He wants help on catching food.
Lads, have a word with me. I am fucking a really
Exactly.
hot woman.
I don't understand why he's upset. It seems like everything's working out really well for him. Is he angry that he's paying $9,000 at uni and he's doing online lessons? I don't.
So I know a comedian who used to act as like a bit of a pickup artist. You know, he read like that book, The Game, which
Oh
is
yeah.
being largely sort of, oh yeah.
Which was directly quoted from about 3 minutes ago.
But like, it's about sort of like men who are sort of conventionally unattractive trying to pick up women who are out of their league, and like a lot of them got very good at it apparently and could do it. And
Yeah, and it was seedy and it was negative affirmation. It's not a healthy way of going around meeting women, is it?
No,
Totally.
I do quite well, or at least I used to do quite well, considering that I'm not blessed with looks.
that is a damning thing for your girlfriend to hear, isn't it? If she ever watches this, I do
No,
quite well.
but-
Well, I used to.
I retired, basically.
Yeah, put it in a disabled one to quote your last one.
No, I used to do a lot better than what I should do. In terms of, you know, I don't think I ever went through that much of a dry spell, because I think that I'm quite good at flirting, and I am quite good at like.
Would you please just flirt with me a bit now, just so I can see what it's like?
Well, no, because I don't have sex with you, so it's actually no. I'd fuck you
Right.
because
Wouldn't make love to me.
I know that you'd hate it more than I would.
Like Tyson. Tyson fucks people, doesn't he, to annoy them? Remember that video? I'll fuck you till you love me.
I
No, I
really
don't
didn't
remember
expect
that one.
Freddie Quinn to say that today. And just no laughter from anyone. I'd fuck you. And I honestly, the temptation to just press stop on the record to let that be the end of the pod. It'd be like the end of The Sopranos season 7, whenever like, Cliff, what are you doing? Have you seen episode 104? Have a word. It was a cliffhanger.
So what I was trying to say was that the person I know who used to like
Yeah.
act as a pickup artist, and he's very remorseful for it now, and he thinks it's disgusting and whatever. He said that when this was happening, because what you're saying is he's 6.5, just fucking take the fact he's shagging a 10. The person I'm talking about is probably about a 5 or a 6, and he said he was regularly shagging 10s because this pickup artistry works, especially on attractive women who are used to always getting a lot of attention and whatever. And he found it really, really horrible, because it was like he'd tricked them into sort of sleeping with him. And then the next day when they woke up, they were like, ugh, how the fuck? Because it wears off immediately. And even though you're having sex with very attractive women, as this guy is, it's not enough because you want something more. And that's what he's saying there.
Yeah, because you've used almost inhumane, like, mind trickery to have a hot. It's a bit like wearing a hat. That's honestly, what do I think I am in a hat? On a good day,
1 for 1 for 1.
where well, no, but I'm genuinely like with a hat.
A catfish.
If I could pass as a 6.5, knocking on a 7. As soon as I take the hat off, girls are like, oh God, that looks like my granddad used to look like. Like it is.
Can we?
That's a mental version of the same thing. Is it
Can we
trickery?
quickly say this guy? I think what the problem is that he sort of thinks that he's getting something out of it, but like, so she's getting just as much out of it as he is, because if you've ever, as I'm sure we all have you ever fucked somebody who's just so beneath you that you don't give a fuck about them? Mm-hmm. It's great. Like.
Tell me more about your particular story, Freddy.
So sometimes, like,
who did the man sell you in Jakarta that time?
So I used to.
Have you? Oh, you want a starfish? You don't want child or woman. You have starfish. Put it on your dick. Like a vajazzle for your dick.
I used to have a thing about this, about how you can never fuck somebody that you love the way you want to fuck them. Do you know? Because you'd never do that to somebody that you loved. So if you have somebody that you just...
you can't piss on the mother of your children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, but if you have somebody who's this grotty little fucking 6.5, that's, I think you're beautiful, then you just fucking ride that dick however you want to fucking ride it. She's getting just as much out of this as he is.
Yeah, but the point is, they're getting just as much out of it. They're both getting sex out of it. But he's fell in love with it, hasn't he? Or he's falling in love with it.
He's
because
worried
he can't believe his own luck.
No, but he's also, I don't think he's about... He knows what's coming.
He's peaked. He can't enjoy the peak
he knows,
because he's looking at the fucking downhill that's coming after this.
This lad's a 6.5 self-admitted.
So what he's doing right now is he's on top of a mountain and he's not fucking just admiring the view. He's looking and going, I've got to go all the way back down again. Just admire the fucking view, mate. If this is your peak, then this is your peak. Most people never get to fuck a 10.
Yes.
So just you having your cock and balls in somebody who's better looking than you by a lot is a reward. And it doesn't matter if it happens once more or for another 12 months.
But
just enjoy what's happening.
If you fall
in love with the peak... Do you put your balls in as well?
I realised that I said then cock and balls. I fold it all in, mate. Like oh, God.
I want everything inside me. Cock, balls, your left arm, and one ear. Get frisky. He doesn't want to die on the peak.
What, sorry?
We're doing that analogy.
Come back down. He doesn't want to come back down.
But if she's a 10...
He does want to die on the peak.
No.
He'd love to have an ass tap.
He's scared about catching feelings, isn't
he? He's worried that she's going to go, yeah, obviously, this is the end, because... look at me and look at you, and then he's going to be in a state.
Yeah, then he's got
so you're saying ride it out and just take your medicine at the end of it.
100% enjoy what you've got. He can't enjoy what he's got right now because he's thinking about what will happen later on. He's thinking, oh, what if I never get to have somebody as good as this ever again? What if nobody else? What if this is the best? Just fucking let it be what it is. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, Freddy.
Why is he? I don't get why people overcomplicate shit like this.
He's been hurt before and he's worried about what's coming.
Oh, what a fanny.
Yeah.
How are you with breakups? I've never really hit the I can't do it. But I think he's obviously quite self-aware.
I've had a couple of bad breakups. I've had some that I expected to be bad, and then like literally 2 days later, I'm like, this is wonderful. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember being with somebody for about 18 months, and she was like, come and watch me. It was like a Sunday morning, 9 a.m. She was like, come down to Southport and watch me run for Race for Life. I'm raising money for my fucking nana or whatever. And I was like, all right then, okay. And I just fucking didn't, because I can't be asked getting up at 9 o'clock in the morning to watch somebody wear a pink t-shirt and run around a fucking field.
That's a special type of lazy, that, isn't it? When you can't be bothered to go and watch someone run.
Yeah, exactly. It was literally exactly that. And then she finished the race and we broke up over the phone. I remember thinking I've been literally with her for 18 months. And I remember thinking, I don't care at all.
Yeah.
Like I thought I'd
probably took her months. Like that whole day was ruined. She's crying into a medal. Like, oh, and you're like, do you know what? Actually, I'm glad I stayed in bed.
Here's a fun fact. When I got with her, she was thin. And then my lifestyle rubbed off on her so badly that she put about 2.5 stone on.
Oh, yeah.
And then she ended up getting a personal trainer to get the flab off, and then ended up getting with him and is now married to him. So you're welcome.
You helped her find love.
Exactly.
And he goes to all her races. Well dodged.
Can we do one more of these? Can we do one more?
You want to do another one?
We can. One more.
That was so good, Adam. Adam just went, nope. From Joe. All right, lads, can you please have a word with my Christian mate who's constantly falling in love with random women but won't do anything about it because of his faith? I've tried to tell him it's all bollocks, but he won't listen. Cheers, lads. Love the pod. So,
see, I know what that is already as well. It's not because of his faith. It's because he's a pussy. It's not. He's using Christianity as a front for the fact that he's a bit nervous around the girls. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's how
maybe he's
how
nervous around the
Christian
girls.
is he?
Maybe he's nervous around the girls because of his faith. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's his entire personality. Have you ever spoke to a Christian? Like all they talk about is fucking the bread and that, and it's so annoying.
The bread,
bread and that.
The little fucking cracker that they give you with the fucking Ribena.
The little cracker and the Ribena.
You know what I mean? I was like, oh, you should
Communion.
come to church with me. Yeah.
And you got in that Catholic school, did you? What did your dad have to do in that cupboard?
But like, I reckon what happens is he's got friends and he starts talking to them, and they're just like, ugh, this again. Yeah, we get it. He fed loads of people with a fucking, one meal deal. Well done. Why are you telling us again? Why? Where's the news stories and that? Do you know what I mean? And he knows he's dull as fuck, so he won't go near these women.
No, I think he's just using it as a mask because he's afraid, because he's a pussy.
Yeah, is it easy? It's pretty strict Christianity that doesn't let you go anywhere near girls.
I think that's priesthood, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, I know. Born again Christians are super strict.
Mormons? Is it Mormons?
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about the...
Are Mormons Christians? They are are they a form of Christianity?
Pretty sure.
But it's a really off the fucking main...
No, they've just got a third book, haven't they?
Yeah, so
they've got the trilogy.
So Mormon is Joseph Smith, and he finds some fucking plates in the desert. He finds some gold plates in the desert, right? And an angel comes to him and says, "Look, man, you got to fucking transcribe these plates, right?"
Yeah.
So he gets a mate who's like his rich mate, and he says, "Look, rich mate, I've got some fucking gold plates, and I need to transcribe them. An angel's given me to them, and they're in this fucking box here. They've got to be dark because I'm using this fucking seer stone thing to transcribe them. So I'm going to read it out, and you're going to write it down." And his fucking gullible rich mate is like, "Oh, okay then." And so he literally reads out this whole fucking, third testament, if you like.
Yeah.
And then the guy's writing it down. "Oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe an angel's spoken to you." And then he gives it to his wife. And then his wife's like, "This sounds like bullshit." So his wife takes it and hides it. And she says, "Right, okay, well, we'll know if he's telling the truth. You say that you lost the papers and then get him to transcribe them again. And if it's exactly the same, he's telling the truth. And if it's different, then he's not telling the truth." Fucking sorted. So he told him what happened. He said, "I've lost that transcription." Joseph Smith was super, super pissed off, went away to go and pray. And then he came back a couple of days later and was like, "You never guess what? The angel has given me some different plates. And we're going to transcribe them again. And it's going to be the same sort of story, but it might be a little bit different here and there." And they fucking and the religion is literally started off from that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they got hounded round the country, didn't they, until they got to Utah?
Yeah.
Or Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City, yeah, is the mecca.
But they got hounded out of every town as they went.
Yeah. Everyone hated them, but
But they are Christian.
Yeah, but who's laughing now? They've got a hit Broadway musical.
Yeah, which is theirs. They backed it, and that's basically an advert for their church.
Do you know they actually put an advert in the program? It said something like, "If you want to hear more about being a Mormon, please visit our website."
Yeah.
When we went, there was Mormons outside handing out fucking...
Yeah.
I nearly took one and just went, "Oh, I'm not doing it."
It's actually quite pro-religion, that, towards the end, isn't it? For anyone who hasn't seen it, sorry, you can turn off if you don't want any spoilers.
It's definitely not pro-Mormonism.
I don't know about that. It's pro the idea of religion. Do you know what I mean? It gives, it's a piss take on religion for the entire thing, and then towards the end, it's like,
Yeah,
But you can understand why people need it.
yeah, but it's not pro-Mormonism. Like, it rips the Mormon church a new one, doesn't it?
Don't get me wrong. I think that everybody who believes in a God, I think, is mentally ill to an extent. Genuinely, I think that if you believe that there is somebody that looks down on you from heaven, I think you need your fucking head checking. But the attitudes and the virtues that you get from being a religious person, the certain attributes that it gives you, and the way that you are meant to conduct your life is fantastic.
Oh, mate, everyone of faith that I know is a good
Totally.
person,
So
a
if
good
you-
and kind person.
So if you want to believe that there's some fucking dude in the sky that you've got to not piss off, if that ends up making you a good person, then who gives a fuck?
What I would say about Joe and his Christian mate is watch this kid go off the rails eventually when his balls are so blue through his faith and his lack of any conquest that he's literally into the worst type of nasty porn by the time he's 26.
Are Mormons allowed to have a spaff?
I don't know. He's not a Mormon.
Jehovah's Witnesses definitely aren't.
Are they not?
Well, Jehovah's Witnesses have a buddy. So when they are doing their mission, they have a buddy that...
That's Mormons as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's Jehovah's Witness.
And Mormons.
And Mormon too.
They go in twos, yeah.
They have a buddy that they follow like everywhere with them and stuff, and they have them for like 2 years.
Yeah,
Of
when
course it is, isn't
Mormons
it?
go...
It's in the Book of Mormon, the thing.
What are you nodding for?
The top article is How I Learned to Masturbate as a Mormon. A blog.
Right. Good.
Just not.
Well, I imagine then that they're not allowed to.
No, they're not.
Factor, otherwise, that wouldn't be.
They're not allowed to
be an
masturbate,
article,
no.
would it? Like no one's doing it. How I learned to have a wank as a Christian.
I actually, joking aside, this lad will go fucking mental.
Oh yeah.
Like, it won't just be like, oh, I can't do anything. That shit builds up.
This is how
If you
terrorists
ignore,
are born.
yeah, if you ignore,
I said this is how terrorists are born.
Yeah.
if you ignore the horn all of the way through 17, 18, 19, 20, you're going to end up. That is too much.
You have to embrace it. You have to embrace. But I just think he's afraid of talking to women. I think he's afraid of talking to women, and he's got like this little Christian thing that he uses to go, oh, well, it's not that I'm afraid. Because what sounds more pathetic, I'm afraid of talking to women, or, oh, my religion. Do you know what I mean?
No, I get it. Also, kids of religion, you can date girls from your religion.
Did I ever tell
Like,
you?
you're not going to get anywhere, but just go and flirt with other Christian girls.
I tried
at camp, at
to.
church.
I tried to date a very religious girl once. She was very Christian. I met her in college, and she was deaf in one ear. And I took her to. See, this is the thing. She was much more attractive than me, but because she was deaf in one ear, I was like, "That's an in." So
I get it. Don't you dare scold them.
No, it's
Know what I
just funny.
Yeah.
I think someone gave
Do
me
you
a
know what that's
compliment.
like?
She hear in love.
Do you know what
it
that's
goes
like?
in one ear and not the other.
Do you know what that's like? Do you know when you've only got like a quid or like only a little bit of money, and you go to Asda, and like the extra special cakes are normally out of your price range, but then they've whacked a yellow sticker on it because someone's dropped the box.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yes. She might as well have had a giant yellow sticker for a fucking hearing aid that said reduced on the side of it. That's all I saw.
What does Freddy look for in women? A whoop sticker.
Anyway, right? She was like, do you want to come to church with me? And I was like, yeah, okay. So we went to church, and it was the day after Halloween. And I went to church hung over to fuck, and I still had some green paint on my neck. And we did face paint.
Oh.
And I sat through mass, and I was like, do you know what? This isn't fucking worth it. And then that was the end of that.
But why did you tell us she was deaf?
What, sorry?
I thought that was going to be part of the story.
Oh, no, it was just a fact. Just the fact that she was deaf in one ear.
I'm deaf.
I just remember that about her.
I'm deaf. I'm deaf. Our podcast has been done. It's been a long one now. 3 hours, isn't it?
Freddy, that point when you said about manipulating women will stay with me for quite a while.
Probably stay with me for a while as well.
I
won't
think
it?
it might stay for a while when we retweet it. It's been a pleasure. Thanks very much. What do you want to plug? You're on
Thank you for
TikTok.
having
You're
me.
nailing TikTok.
Yeah, follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/Freddy Quinne Comedy. If you really,
FreddyQuinne.
if you want to do, that was the whitest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
FreddyQuinne.
Still,
QUI.
Or you can find me on TikTok at Freddy Quinne.
Sweet. My stand-up special, Club Comic, is closing in on 100,000 views on YouTube, and I would like it to get it there because it'll feel like a nice milestone. Search Adam Rowe Club Comic for us if you don't mind. If you've seen it before, just go and watch it for 30 seconds and get me views up. That'd be great.
Amazing. Give it a watch. Lockdown Lock-In went out on Friday, and it was a fucking hit. Everyone went crazy about it. The reaction was fantastic. People are saying, I mean, it hasn't actually been released yet, and we've not seen the reaction, but we're expecting.
We assume.
I just pressed the button on the thing.
Are you doing regular lockdown lock-ins?
We are going to do at least another one. Would you like to be one of the guests?
I was thinking, obviously, the last time that I came on here, there was a lot of people saying that I definitely beat Blair at the drinking.
Paul Blair. So if you haven't listened to the first episode that Freddie Quinn was a guest on, he had a drinking competition with the owner of Hot Water Comedy Club, Mr. Paul Blair, on a stag do in Berlin. And there was a bit of a debate on who won the drinking competition. If you haven't seen it yet, go and check that episode out.
I know what you're thinking, but I think it might have to be out of a lockdown.
Yes,
can't have you two sat on that couch. Like, I'm into it. I think it'd be great to do it.
Let's do it out of a lockdown then.
What we'll have to need some alliteration, don't it? Can't call it a lockdown lock-in after post-pandemic piss up.
That was quick.
It was good.
That was good.
Like it.
Gerard.
Yeah.
Cool.
Have a word. Patreon.com/haveawordpod. It feels very weird when you've lowered your own seat. I've really enjoyed my.
Well done, boys.
The news today was very good. Everyone is doing really well.
The lockdown lock-in, for those who don't know, is an episode where we get absolutely fucking hammered and we put it behind the paywall on patreon.com/haveawordpod because it's not for public consumption. You can get it right now. Get merch at haveawordpod.com. That's the end of the episode. He's Freddie Quinn. He's Dan Nightingale. I'm Adam Rowe. Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.